Hey guys. This is What If Naruto Had a Leveling System. Hit like and subscribe if you like this one. Let's start.
We are pain, that's all. We are God.
The academy instructor's words echoed in the small apartment like a death sentence. I'm sorry, Naruto, but you've failed the graduation exam again. 12-year-old Naruto Uzumaki sat on his bed, staring at the cracked ceiling of his tiny studio apartment. The sun had set hours ago, but he couldn't bring himself to turn on the lights. Darkness felt appropriate. 3 years at the academy. 3 attempts at the graduation exam. 3 failures. Around him, scattered across the worn floorboards, lay the evidence of his inadequacy. Kunai with bent tips from missed throws. A chakra control exercise paper that should have stuck to his forehead but kept falling. Training logs filled with notes about techniques he couldn't quite master. Most kids his age were celebrating tonight, wearing their new forehead protectors with pride. Tomorrow they'd receive their team assignments and begin their journey as real shinobi. But not him. Never him. Demon brat. He whispered to himself, repeating what he'd heard countless times in the village streets. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm just... He didn't finish the thought. Instead, he pulled himself up and walked to the bathroom, splashing cold water on his face. The reflection in the cracked mirror showed bright blue eyes dulled by disappointment, blonde hair that stuck up in every direction, and 3 whisker-like marks on each cheek that made him look different. Wrong. Unlike other students who struggled with 1 or 2 techniques, Naruto seemed to struggle with everything. His chakra control was abysmal. He could barely perform a basic substitution jutsu without exhausting himself. His taijutsu was wild and uncoordinated. His accuracy with projectiles was laughable. The only thing he had in abundance was stamina and determination, which apparently weren't enough. Iruka-sensei said I could try again next year. Naruto muttered, gripping the sides of the sink. Another year of being the class dead last. Another year of everyone looking at me like I'm... A sudden wave of dizziness hit him. The bathroom seemed to tilt sideways, and Naruto stumbled backward, catching himself against the doorframe. His vision blurred, filled with strange symbols and text that definitely weren't there before. System initializing. Welcome, Naruto Uzumaki. You have been selected. What the? Naruto rubbed his eyes furiously, but the floating text remained. It hung in the air before him, glowing with a soft blue light that seemed to come from nowhere. Gamer system activated. Loading user interface. More text appeared, organized into what looked like a status screen. Naruto's legs gave out, and he slid down the wall until he was sitting on the bathroom floor, staring at the impossible display floating before him. Status. Name Naruto Uzumaki. Level 1. Title, Academy Failure. HP, 500/500. CP, 1200/1200. Strength 8. Vit 12. Dex 6. Int 5. Wiz 4. Luck 3. Unspent points 0. This is... I'm going crazy. Naruto breathed. The ramen from last week must have been bad. I'm hallucinating because of food poisoning. But the screen remained steady, completely unaffected by his attempts to rationalize it away. Beneath his basic stats, another section appeared. Skills. Clone Jutsu Level 1, Proficiency, 2%. Transformation Jutsu Level 1, Proficiency, 15%. Substitution Jutsu Level 1, Proficiency, 8%. Taijutsu Level 2, Proficiency, 34%. Chakra Control Level 1, Proficiency, 3%. Kunai Throwing Level 1, Proficiency, 11%. Passive Skills. Uzumaki Vitality Max, greatly increased HP and HP regeneration. Ninetales Chakra Sealed, massive CP pool, rapid CP regeneration. Indomitable Will Level 3, increase resistance to mental effects and fear. Naruto's breath caught in his throat. Ninetales Chakra? What did that mean? But before he could process that question, another notification appeared. Quest available. Tutorial Quest First Steps. Objective, perform 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. Reward 500 EXP, plus 1 strength, plus 1 VIT. Accept? Yes/no. Without thinking, Naruto reached out and touched the yes option. His finger passed through it like smoke, but somehow the system registered his choice. The quest details minimized to a small corner of his vision, where he could still see it but it wasn't blocking his view. Okay, Naruto said slowly, pulling himself to his feet. If I'm going crazy, I might as well go crazy productively. He dropped to the floor and assumed a push-up position. His form was terrible, back arched wrong, elbows too wide, but he started counting anyway. 1, 2, 3. At 15, his arms started shaking. At 25, they were screaming. At 35, he collapsed face first onto the hardwood floor, gasping for breath. Push UPS, 35/100. The notification was almost mocking. Naruto groaned, rolled onto his back, and stared at the ceiling. Every part of his body hurt, and he barely completed a third of just one exercise. This is impossible, he panted. There's no way I can. Skill discovered, Gamer's Mind. Effect: allows the user to think calmly and logically in any situation. Provides immunity to mental effects and psychological trauma. The moment the skill activated, his breathing steadied, his mind cleared, and he found himself analyzing the situation with unexpected clarity. Right, he said, sitting up. If this is real, then I need to treat it seriously. And if it's not real, well, at least I'm getting a workout. He resumed the push-ups with better form this time, having somehow intuited the correct positioning. His muscles still burned, but the mental barrier that usually made him quit early wasn't there anymore. He pushed through 36, 37, 38. At 50, something remarkable happened. Push-up count, 50/100. Strength plus 0.1. Naruto felt a tiny surge of energy flow through his arms. The burning didn't disappear, but it became more manageable. He kept going, and at 75, it happened again. Strength plus 0.1. No way! Naruto gasped between repetitions. I'm actually getting stronger while I'm doing this. The realization gave him a second wind. If every rep was making him stronger, even marginally, then the later ones should be easier than the earlier ones. It was like the system was rewarding him in real time for his effort. 98. 99. 100. Push UPS complete, 100/100. Strength plus 0.2. Naruto collapsed again, but this time with a grin on his face. His arms felt like jelly, but underneath the exhaustion was a strange sensation of growth. Like his muscles were denser, stronger than they'd been just minutes ago. Sit-ups next, he muttered, forcing himself into position. Come on, Naruto. You can do this. The sit-ups were brutal in their own way, but the gamer's mind skill kept him focused. Every time his body screamed at him to quit, his mind calmly noted the sensation and continued anyway. It was almost disturbing how detached he felt from his own physical suffering. At sit-up 50, he gained another small boost. At 75, another. And finally, at 100. SIK UPS complete, 100/100. Fit plus 0.2. The squats nearly broke him. His legs were trembling so badly by rep 60 that he could barely maintain his balance. But every time he considered stopping, the progress bars in the corner of his vision reminded him how close he was to completing his first quest. 80, 90, 95. Naruto's vision was starting to blur. Sweat poured down his face, and his breathing came in ragged gasps. But he'd come too far to quit now. 98. 99. 100. Squats complete, 100/100. Strength plus 0.2. Quest complete first steps. Rewards 500 EXP, plus 1 strength, plus 1 VID. Level up. Level up. You are now level 3. 10 stat points available. The exhaustion vanished. It didn't fade gradually, it simply ceased to exist. One moment Naruto was collapsed on the floor, barely able to move, and the next he felt completely refreshed. Better than refreshed, actually. He felt stronger, more energized than he had in his entire life. What the hell? Naruto jumped to his feet, bouncing on his toes experimentally. His legs, which should have been screaming in pain, felt perfectly fine. He dropped into a fighting stance, threw a few practice punches, did a quick set of jumping jacks. Everything felt better. Smoother. More controlled. New feature unlocked, stat distribution. You have 10 unspent stat points. Would you like to allocate them now? Naruto pulled up his status screen again, studying it more carefully this time. His strength had increased to 9.4, he assumed the decimals from his mini-gains during the quest had added up, and his VIT was now at 13.4. But everything else remained unchanged. So I can just make myself better at anything? Naruto whispered. I could put points into INT and actually understand what Iraka-sensei is teaching? Or DX to finally throw kunai straight? His hand hovered over the INT stat. Being smarter would help with everything, right? But then his eyes drifted to the skill list, specifically to the pathetic 3% proficiency in chakra control. That was the root of all his problems. Every technique required good chakra control, and his was terrible. If he could just... Wait, Naruto said, an idea forming. If skills have proficiency percentages, that means I can level them up. And if I level up chakra control, doesn't that mean I'd get better at it naturally? He closed the stat distribution menu without spending any points. If this system worked the way he thought it did, then mindlessly dumping points into stats would be a waste. He needed to understand the mechanics first, figure out the optimal path forward. Naruto walked to his tiny kitchen and grabbed a leaf from the small plant he'd somehow managed to keep alive. The leaf-sticking exercise, the most basic chakra control drill taught at the academy. He'd failed it hundreds of times. Pressing the leaf to his forehead, Naruto focused his chakra. The leaf stuck for maybe 2 seconds before fluttering to the ground. Chakra control proficiency, 3%, 4%. It increased! Naruto snatched up the leaf and tried again. This time it lasted 3 seconds before falling. Chakra control proficiency, 4%, 5%. Then again. 4 seconds. Chakra control proficiency, 5%, 6%. And again. 5 seconds. Chakra control proficiency, 6%, 7%. Naruto's eyes widened as understanding crashed over him. Every single attempt was making him better. The improvements were small, tiny, even, but they were consistent and measurable. If he just kept practicing, kept pushing, the percentages would add up. The levels would come. This is it, he breathed, a manic grin spreading across his face. This is how I catch up to everyone else. No, this is how I surpass them. He tried the leaf exercise again and again, watching the proficiency percentage creep upward. At 10%, the increases slowed down. It took multiple successful attempts to gain a single percentage point. But they still came. Chakra control has reached level 2. New skill acquired, meditation level 1. Meditation increases CP regeneration when actively meditating. Higher levels allow meditation while performing other activities. Naruto sat cross-legged on his floor, the leaf now staying stuck to his forehead for nearly 30 seconds at a time. The sun was starting to rise outside his window, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. He'd been at this all night, but he didn't feel tired. The gamer's body, another passive skill he discovered, apparently removed the need for sleep as long as his HP and CP were above certain thresholds. A knock on the door interrupted his concentration. The leaf fell, and Naruto's chakra control proficiency ticked up another percentage point. Naruto? Came Irika's voice from the hallway. Are you awake? Naruto dismissed the floating screens with a thought. They vanished instantly, and crossed to the door. When he opened it, he found his former instructor looking concerned and tired, probably having stayed up late grading papers and preparing for the new genin teams. Irika-sensei, Naruto said, genuinely happy to see him. What are you doing here so early? I wanted to check on you, Irika admitted, studying Naruto's face. After yesterday, I know how much the exam meant to you. I was worried you might be, well, depressed? Naruto suggested with a slight smile. Yeah, I was. But I'm okay now. Actually, I'm better than okay. I've been training all night. Irika's eyes widened. All night? Naruto, you need rest. Overworking yourself won't. Can you do me a favor, sensei? Naruto interrupted. Can you test my chakra control? What? Just real quick. The leaf exercise. I want to see if I've improved. Irika looked confused but pulled a leaf from his vest pocket anyway. Every instructor carried them for impromptu lessons. He handed it to Naruto, who promptly stuck it to his forehead with a focused burst of chakra. The leaf stayed put. 10 seconds passed. 20. 30. A full minute. Naruto, Irika said slowly, his voice strange. When did you learn to do this? Tonight, Naruto replied honestly. The leaf finally fell after 90 seconds, and he caught it before it hit the ground. I've been practicing. But yesterday you couldn't keep it stuck for more than a second or two. This level of improvement in one night is impossible? Naruto suggested. He could see the wheels turning in Irika's head, trying to rationalize what he'd just witnessed. Maybe I just needed the right motivation. Failing the exam made me realize I can't keep making excuses. I have to actually put in the work. It wasn't entirely a lie. The system had given him the tools, but he still had to use them. The hours he'd spent practicing weren't fake, they'd just been exponentially more productive than they should have been. Irika studied him for a long moment, then broke into a smile. Well, whatever inspired this change, I'm glad to see it. Keep it up, and you might pass next year's exam easily. Next year? Naruto shook his head. Sensei, when's the next graduation exam? There won't be another one until next spring. Naruto, you can't possibly. What if I could prove I'm ready before then? Naruto pressed. What if I could master all 3 academy techniques at a level higher than what's required? Would that be enough? Iruka frowned. The graduation requirements exist for a reason. Even if you improved your chakra control, you'd need to demonstrate proficiency in combat scenarios, written exams, tactical thinking. So let me try, Naruto said. Give me 1 month. If I can't prove myself ready in 1 month, I'll wait until next spring without complaint. But if I can, you'll let me take a special exam. Naruto. Please, sensei. Just 1 chance. That's all I'm asking. Iruka sighed deeply, rubbing his scar. 1 month isn't enough time to fix everything that needs work. But I'll tell you what. If you can show me significant improvement in all areas, and I mean all areas, including the written material, I'll speak to the Hokage about allowing you to take a special examination. No promises beyond that. Quest available. Prove your worth. Objective: demonstrate significant improvement in all academy subjects within 1 month. Requirements: increase chakra control to level 5 or higher. Increase taijutsu to level 5 or higher. Increase clone jutsu to level 3 or higher. Increase transformation jutsu to level 3 or higher. Increase substitution jutsu to level 3 or higher. Increase kunai throwing to level 3 or higher. Pass a written exam with 80% or higher. Reward: special graduation examination, 5000 EXP, title, determined student. Failure: repeat academy year. Accept? Yes/no. Naruto didn't hesitate. Deal. The quest appeared in his log, its requirements clear and daunting. 1 month to essentially become a competent academy student. For anyone else, it would be impossible. But Naruto had something no one else did. After Iruka left, Naruto pulled up his status screen again and allocated his 10 unspent points. 3 into VIT for more stamina, 3 into DX for better control over his movements, 2 into INT because the written exam requirement meant he couldn't ignore academics anymore, and 2 into WIS because he was starting to understand that chakra efficiency was directly tied to that stat. Status update. Name: Naruto Uzumaki. Level 3. Title: Academy Failure. HP: 740/740. CP: 1400/1400. Strength: 9.4. Vit: 16.4. Dex: 9. Int: 7. Wiz: 6. Luck: 3. The changes were immediately noticeable. Naruto felt lighter on his feet, more aware of his body's positioning. His mind felt clearer, thoughts coming more quickly and connecting in ways they hadn't before. Okay, he said, cracking his knuckles. Time to get to work. The next week passed in a blur of constant training. Naruto discovered that the system's experience gains were directly tied to how challenging a task was. Practicing the leaf exercise at 20% proficiency gave decent experience, but once he hit 30%, the gains dropped significantly unless he tried variations or increased the difficulty. So he started walking around his apartment with the leaf stuck to his forehead. Then he started doing it while performing other tasks, cooking ramen, organizing his equipment, even practicing his academy taijutsu forms. The system rewarded creative applications of skills, giving bonus experience for discovering new synergies. Skill synergy discovered: chakra control plus taijutsu. Bonus EXP awarded. New skill unlocked: chakra enhancement level 1. Chakra enhancement allows the user to enhance physical abilities by channeling chakra. Increases effectiveness with level. That discovery alone changed everything. Suddenly Naruto understood why some of his classmates could hit so much harder than their size suggested. They were unconsciously enhancing their strikes with chakra. With the system making the process visible and quantifiable, Naruto could practice it deliberately. He spent hours punching a wooden post in his apartment, channeling tiny amounts of chakra into his fists with each strike. The proficiency climbed slowly, but every percentage point made a visible difference. By the time chakra enhancement hit level 2, his punches were leaving visible dents in the wood. Taijutsu has reached level 3. Strength plus 0.5, VIT plus 0.3. New skill unlocked: Basic Combat Sense level 1. Basic Combat Sense improves reaction time and threat assessment in combat situations. The skill tree system was fascinating. Every time a skill reached certain milestones, it either evolved or unlocked related abilities. Naruto started keeping a notebook, mapping out which skills led to which developments, trying to plan an optimal training path. On day 8, he unlocked his first proper jutsu evolution. He'd been practicing the clone jutsu obsessively, trying to understand why his clones always came out so wrong. The system gave him a hint when it displayed his chakra flow during the technique. Chakra flow analysis active. Inefficiency detected: 87% waste. Recommendation: reduce chakra output by 90%. What? Naruto stared at the notification. I'm using too much chakra? He'd always assumed his clones failed because he wasn't using enough. Everyone said he had terrible chakra control, so he'd been trying to brute force the technique with massive amounts of energy. But according to the system, the basic clone jutsu required almost no chakra at all. It was just an illusion, after all. Naruto tried again, this time carefully regulating his output based on the system's feedback. The chakra flow turned from angry red, indicating waste, to orange, then yellow, then green as he found the optimal range. The clone that appeared was perfect. Clone Jutsu has reached level 3. Clone Jutsu has evolved, Shadow Clone Jutsu level 1. Warning, Shadow Clone Jutsu is a B-rank technique. Improper use may result in chakra exhaustion. Special property discovered, memory transfer. Experience and knowledge gained by shadow clones will transfer to the original upon dispersion. Naruto read that last line 3 times to make sure he understood it correctly. Memory transfer? You mean? He created another shadow clone, a real, solid clone this time, not an illusion. The clone looked back at him with the same confused expression. You're thinking what I'm thinking? The clone asked. If you're me, then yeah, Naruto replied. Go practice the transformation jutsu while I work on chakra control. The clone nodded and moved to the other side of the apartment. For the next hour, they trained separately. When Naruto finally dispelled the clone, the memories hit him like a wave. Transformation jutsu proficiency, 15%, 28%. Transformation jutsu has reached level 2. Naruto staggered, gripping his head as the clone's hour of practice integrated into his mind. It wasn't just abstract knowledge, he remembered every repetition, every mistake, every success as if he'd done it himself. This is broken, he whispered. This is absolutely broken. If he could create multiple clones and have them all train different skills simultaneously, he could compress months or even years of training into days. The only limitation was his chakra capacity and the mental strain of absorbing multiple clones' worth of memories at once. Naruto checked his CP bar. Creating one shadow clone had cost him 140 CP, exactly 10% of his total. That meant he could theoretically create 9 clones and still have enough chakra left over to function. Let's test it, he decided. 9 clones appeared in his tiny apartment, cramming the space. They looked at each other, then at the original. Okay, Naruto said. 3 of you practice transformation, 3 practice substitution, 2 practice kunai throwing, and 1 practices taijutsu forms. I'll maintain chakra control training and coordinate. Everyone ready? Yeah! They all shouted in unison. For the next 3 hours, Naruto's apartment was chaos. Clones transformed into various objects and people, substituted with pieces of furniture, threw kunai at a makeshift target, and practiced punch combinations. The original Naruto sat in the center, leaf stuck to his forehead, directing the organized mayhem while pushing his chakra control to its limits. When he finally dispelled all the clones, Naruto collapsed. Chakra exhaustion detected. HP, 740/740. CP, 45/1400. Warning, continue training at current CP levels risks physical damage. Recommended action, rest or meditate to restore CP. The memory integration was overwhelming. 9 clones worth of experience slammed into his brain simultaneously, and for a moment Naruto thought his head might actually explode. Information competed for attention, the feeling of transforming into a rock, the timing of a substitution, the weight of a kunai, the proper hip rotation for a straight punch, all layered on top of each other. But the gamer's mind skill kicked in, organizing the chaos. The memories sorted themselves, filing away neatly like books in a library. When the disorientation faded, Naruto found himself staring at his notification log. Transformation Jutsu, Level 2 Level 3, Proficiency, 67%. Substitution Jutsu, Level 1 Level 2, Proficiency, 89%. Kunai Throwing, Level 1 Level 2, Proficiency, 34%. Taijutsu, Level 3 Level 4, Proficiency, 12%. Chakra Control, Level 2 Level 3, Proficiency, 45%. You have gained 2,340 EXP. Level up. You are now level 5. 5 stat points available. Naruto lay on his back, grinning at the ceiling despite the pounding headache. 2 weeks of normal training compressed into 3 hours. And this was just the beginning. As his chakra capacity grew and his clone technique improved, the multiplier would only get more ridiculous. The Hokage is going to have a heart attack when I show him this, Naruto muttered, pulling himself into a meditation pose. The skill activated automatically now that he was familiar with it, and his CP regeneration tripled. Meditation. Level 1 Level 2. CP regeneration, 14/minute 21/minute. While he meditated, Naruto reviewed his quest's progress. 2 weeks left, and he'd already hit most of the requirements except for the written exam component. That one would be trickier. He couldn't just brute force academic knowledge the way he could physical skills. Or could he? An idea formed, crazy but potentially brilliant. If shadow clone memories transferred perfectly, that included things they read and studied. He could create clones, have them read different textbooks simultaneously, then absorb all that information when they dispelled. That's either genius or a recipe for brain damage, Naruto said aloud. Only one way to find out. The next morning, he raided the academy library, checking out every textbook he could carry. History, geography, chakra theory, trap-making, survival techniques, the entire curriculum for all 3 academy years. The librarian gave him a strange look but didn't comment. Back in his apartment, Naruto created 5 clones and distributed the books among them. We've got 2 weeks. That means each of you needs to thoroughly read and understand your assigned material. Take notes, memorize the important stuff, and don't dispel until you're confident you've absorbed it all. The clones nodded seriously, settling in with their textbooks. The original Naruto, meanwhile, returned to physical training. He'd discovered that active training while clones handled the studying was the most efficient use of time. His CP regenerated through meditation, the clones learned, and his body improved through practice. Days blurred together. Naruto fell into a rhythm: wake up, create study clones, train physically while they read, absorb their memories before bed, meditate to restore CP, sleep for a few hours, repeat. The system seemed to actively encourage this approach, occasionally giving bonus experience for efficient time management or multitasking mastery. Skills climbed steadily. Chakra control hit level 4, then level 5. Taijutsu reached level 5 after Naruto discovered he could create clones to spar against, practicing against opponents who knew his own fighting style. Kunai throwing improved through hundreds of repetitions, the system showing him optimal throwing angles and release timing. Skill integration detected. Chakra control plus kunai throwing equals chakra thread manipulation. New skill unlocked, chakra thread manipulation level 1. Allows the user to attach thin chakra threads to thrown weapons, enabling mid-flight course correction. The study clones dispelled themselves one by one as they finished their assigned reading. Each time, Naruto gained weeks' worth of academic knowledge in an instant. Mathematical formulas, historical dates, chakra circulation theory, the hierarchy of ninja ranks, it all slotted into place with perfect clarity. In +2 was +1.5. New skill unlocked, academic knowledge level 4. With 1 week left before his deadline with Irika, Naruto reviewed his progress. Status: Name Naruto Uzumaki. Level 12. Title: Academy Failure Dedicated Student. HP 1 240/1 240. CP 3 100/3 100. Strength 14.8. Fit 24.7. Dex 16.2. Int 15.8. Wiz 13.4. Luck 3.2. Skills: Clone Jutsu Level 3, 98% proficiency. Shadow Clone Jutsu Level 4, 67% proficiency. Transformation Jutsu Level 4, 82% proficiency. Substitution Jutsu Level 4, 91% proficiency. Taijutsu Level 6, 34% proficiency. Chakra Control Level 6, 56% proficiency. Kunai Throwing Level 4, 78% proficiency. Chakra Enhancement Level 3, 45% proficiency. Academic Knowledge Level 4, 89% proficiency. Meditation Level 4, 23% proficiency. Chakra Thread Manipulation Level 2, 34% proficiency. The transformation was staggering. Naruto barely recognized the person these stats described. His chakra capacity had more than doubled through level ups and training. His physical abilities had increased to the point where he could probably take on several of his former classmates simultaneously. But stats and skills meant nothing without practical application. On the day before his meeting with Irika, Naruto set up a final test for himself. He created 20 shadow clones and had them take positions throughout the training ground he'd been using for physical practice. Then he substituted with one at random, giving himself a 30-second head start before ordering the clones to hunt him. What followed was the most intense game of tag Naruto had ever played. His clones knew his abilities because they were him, which meant predicting their movements required predicting what he would do in their position. The basic combat sense skill helped, giving him split-second warnings when attacks came from his blind spots. He substituted with a training post to dodge a tackle. Threw kunai with chakra threads attached to redirect them mid-flight. Enhanced his legs to jump higher than should be possible. transformed into a clone to confuse the group, then broke away while they attacked each other. After 10 minutes of frantic evasion and counterattacks, Naruto dispelled all the clones and checked his notifications. Combat scenario completed. Multiple skill increases detected. Special achievement unlocked, outnumber the outnumbered. Reward 1000 EXP, title, Tactical Prodigy. New skill unlocked, Tactical Thinking Level 1. Improved strategic planning and combat scenario analysis. Naruto collapsed on the grass, exhausted but satisfied. The system had pushed him harder than any academy instructor ever had, but the results spoke for themselves. He was ready. The next morning, he met Iruka at the academy training grounds. His former instructor looked skeptical but willing to give him a chance. "All right, Naruto," Iruka said, holding a clipboard with evaluation criteria. "Show me what you've learned. Let's start with the basics. Perform the 3 academy jutsu." Naruto nodded and formed the hand signs for clone jutsu. What appeared weren't the pathetic, discolored failures from a month ago. 5 perfect illusionary clones materialized around him, indistinguishable from the real thing. Iruka's eyebrows rose. "Good. Now transformation." Naruto transformed into Iruka himself, matching every detail down to the scar across his nose and the slight slouch in his posture. Then he transformed into the Hokage, then into Sasuke Uchiha, then into a perfect replica of a storage barrel. "Excellent control," Iruka murmured, making notes. "And substitution?" Before Iruka could finish the sentence, Naruto had substituted with a training dummy 15 feet away. Then he did it again, and again, bouncing around the field like a ricocheting kunai. Iruka lowered his clipboard slowly. "Naruto, how? A month ago you could barely perform these techniques. Now you're executing them at Chunin level." "Training," Naruto said simply. "Lots and lots of training. Show me your taijutsu forms." Naruto moved through the academy kata, each strike precise and controlled. His footwork was clean, his breathing synchronized with his movements. When he added chakra enhancement to demonstrate his improvement, his fists created small shockwaves with each punch. Weapons accuracy? Naruto threw a dozen kunai at various targets scattered around the field. Every single one hit dead center. For the finale, he threw 3 simultaneously, each with chakra threads attached. Mid-flight, he adjusted their trajectories to curve around obstacles before striking their marks. Iruka's clipboard fell from his nerveless fingers. That's an advanced technique. Where did you even learn that?" "I figured it out during training," Naruto admitted. "Once my chakra control got better, I started experimenting with different applications." "I see." Iruka picked up his clipboard with trembling hands. "And the written portion?" Naruto handed him a completed practice exam he'd taken that morning. Iruka scanned through it, his eyes widening with each page. 92%. The instructor breathed. "Naruto, you didn't just improve. You transformed completely. What happened to you?" Naruto considered his answer carefully. He couldn't tell Iruka about the system, who would believe him? But he could give a truth that made sense within the framework of what people could accept. "I stopped making excuses," he said finally. "I stopped blaming my failures on other people or circumstances I couldn't control. I looked at what I could control, my effort, my focus, my dedication, and I pushed those to their absolute limits. Turns out I had a lot more potential than anyone realized. I just needed the right motivation to unlock it." It was true in a way. The system hadn't given him talent or skill, it had just given him a way to measure and optimize his training. The thousands of hours of practice condensed through shadow clones, the relentless focus enabled by Gamer's Mind, the strategic approach to skill development, those were all things Naruto had done himself. Iruka was quiet for a long moment, staring at his former problem student who had somehow become exemplary. Then he smiled, a real, genuine smile of pride. "I'll speak to the Hokage," he said. "I think you've more than earned your special examination. Quest complete, prove your worth. Rewards 5000 EXP, title, determined student. Level up. Level up. Level up. You are now level 15. 15 stat points available. New quest available, graduation exam." The Hokage's office was exactly as Naruto remembered it, shelves filled with scrolls, the large desk piled with paperwork, and the elderly third Hokage smoking his pipe while studying Naruto with those knowing eyes. "Iruka tells me you've shown remarkable improvement," Hiruzen Sarutobi said, his voice warm but measured. "He seems to think you're ready for a special graduation exam, despite failing the standard test just 1 month ago." "I am ready," Naruto said firmly. "I know I was a terrible student before. But I've changed. I've been training every day, pushing myself harder than I ever have. I just needed time to figure out how to learn properly." Hiruzen studied him for a long moment, and Naruto had the uncomfortable feeling that the old man could see right through him. The Hokage was known as the Professor, master of countless jutsu and possessor of frightening analytical abilities. If anyone might sense that something unusual had happened to Naruto, it would be him. Very well, Hiruzen said finally. I'll allow a special examination, but under specific conditions. Your test will not be the standard academy exam. Instead, you'll face a real mission scenario. Quest updated, graduation exam special conditions. A real mission? Naruto repeated. A D-rank assignment, Hiruzen clarified. We've received a request from a merchant traveling to a village 2 days from here. He requires escort protection, standard guard duty against bandits and wild animals. You'll accompany a Jonin instructor who will evaluate your performance in a real-world setting. If you demonstrate adequate skills, judgment, and composure, you'll receive your forehead protector upon return. Naruto's heart raced. This was better than a standard exam. This was a chance to prove himself in actual field conditions. When do I leave? Tomorrow morning. The merchant departs at dawn. Report to the village gates, and don't be late. Hiruzen's expression softened slightly. Naruto, I'm glad to see you've found your determination. But understand that being a ninja is more than just mastering techniques. You'll be representing our village. Your actions will reflect on all of us. I understand, Hokage-sama. I won't let you down. That evening, Naruto prepared his equipment with obsessive attention to detail. Kunai, shuriken, wire, rations, first aid supplies, everything an academy student would need for a multi-day mission. The system even helped, highlighting which items would be most useful based on his current skill set. Recommended equipment loadout. 30x kunai optimal for your kunai throwing level. 20x shuriken secondary projectiles. 100-foot wire multiple applications with chakra thread manipulation. 3x soldier pills emergency chakra restoration. Standard medical kit. 5 days rations mission duration is 4 days, bring extra. Naruto followed the recommendations, packing everything into his equipment pouches with practiced efficiency. A month ago, he would have just thrown everything in randomly. Now, thanks to his increased INT and the tactical thinking skill, he organized items by expected frequency of use and emergency access. Sleep came fitfully that night. Naruto's mind raced with possibilities and scenarios. What if he encountered real bandits? What if someone was injured? What if his skills weren't as good under pressure as they were in training? Gamer's mind activated. Anxiety suppressed. Mental state, calm and focused. The anxious thoughts didn't disappear, but they lost their edge. Naruto could acknowledge his concerns without being paralyzed by them. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and activated meditation to restore his CP to maximum before tomorrow's mission. Dawn came too quickly. Naruto arrived at the village gates to find a portly merchant checking over a wagon loaded with trade goods. Standing beside the merchant was Kakashi Hatake, the infamous copy ninja, wearing his standard Jonin vest and with his face hidden behind a mask and tilted forehead protector. You're early, Kakashi observed, his visible eye crinkling in what might have been a smile. That's unusual for an academy student. I didn't want to be late, Naruto replied, studying the legendary Jonin. Every academy student knew about Kakashi, the man who'd copied over 1,000 jutsu, former ANBU captain, student of the 4th Hokage. Having him as an evaluator was both exciting and terrifying. Well, since you're here, help load these last few boxes. Kakashi gestured to some crates near the wagon. Consider it part of your evaluation. A ninja must be adaptable to any task, even mundane ones. Naruto suppressed a sigh and started loading boxes. The system gave him a minor quest for it. Minor quest, merchant assistance. Reward 50 XP, plus 0.1 strength. Of course it did. The system found ways to give experience for almost anything. Naruto had gained levels from cooking ramen, cleaning his apartment, and even organizing his equipment. Every action was an opportunity for growth if approached correctly. Once the wagon was loaded, the merchant, a nervous man named Taro, climbed onto the driver's seat and snapped the reins. The journey began. For the first few hours, nothing happened. They traveled along a well-maintained road through peaceful countryside. Naruto kept his senses alert, using his basic combat sense skill to monitor their surroundings while Kakashi appeared to be reading a small orange book. So, Kakashi said suddenly, not looking up from his book. Irika tells me you improved dramatically in just 1 month. Care to explain how? Naruto had prepared for this question. I discovered shadow clones. That made Kakashi look up. Shadow clones? That's a Jonin-level technique. Where did you learn it? I didn't learn it from anyone, Naruto admitted. I was practicing the regular clone jutsu, and I guess my chakra control was so bad that I accidentally made them solid instead of illusory. Once I realized what was happening, I practiced until I could do it consistently. It was a plausible lie. The shadow clone jutsu was technically a forbidden technique, but it wasn't forbidden because it was dangerous to others. It was forbidden because it was dangerous to the user. Creating solid clones split your chakra equally among them, which could easily lead to chakra exhaustion and death for anyone with normal reserves. But Naruto's chakra capacity was anything but normal. The system had labeled it as coming from the Nine Tails, though Naruto still didn't fully understand what that meant. And you've been using shadow clones to train? Kakashi's eye narrowed. You do realize that's incredibly risky, right? If you create too many clones and exhaust your chakra. I know my limits, Naruto said. I've been careful to never push past them. Kakashi returned to his book, but Naruto could tell he was still watching carefully. Well, that explains the rapid improvement. Shadow clones transfer memories and experience when they dispel. With enough clones, you could compress months of training into days. Exactly. It's also incredibly dangerous if you don't have the chakra reserves to support it. Most ninja would kill themselves trying to train that way. Kakashi turned a page. Lucky for you, you seem to have unusually high chakra capacity. I wonder where that came from. There was a weight to that last question, a suggestion that Kakashi knew more than he was saying. Naruto maintained his neutral expression, keeping his thoughts calm thanks to Gamer's mind. I've always had a lot of stamina, Naruto said carefully. Even when my control was terrible, I could keep going longer than other students. Indeed. Kakashi seemed to accept this answer, or at least decided not to push further. Well, let's see if all that training translated into practical skills. There's a group of bandits operating in this area. 3 of them, according to intelligence reports. They usually ambush merchants around midday when the sun makes it harder to see into the forest shadows. Naruto's basic combat sense suddenly flared. Threat detected. Hostile intent, 3 sources. Estimated threat level, low. Recommended action, defensive formation. They're here, Naruto said, his hand moving to his kunai pouch. 3 people, hiding in the trees on both sides of the road. About 50 meters ahead. Kakashi's visible eye widened slightly. You can sense them? How? I don't know, Naruto admitted. I just feel when someone wants to hurt me. It's hard to explain. Basic combat sense has evolved, danger sense level 1. Danger sense provides early warning of hostile intent and immediate threats. Higher levels increase range and accuracy. Interesting, Kakashi murmured. Very interesting. Well, this is your examination. How do you handle it? Naruto's mind raced, his improved INT and tactical thinking skill analyzing the scenario. 3 bandits, likely armed with simple weapons, probably not trained ninja. They'd want to ambush from both sides to prevent escape. Mr. Taro, Naruto said to the merchant. When I give the signal, stop the wagon and get down behind it for cover. What? Why would? Just trust me. Kakashi-sensei, are you going to help or is this my test? I'm evaluating, Kakashi said mildly. I'll only intervene if you're about to die or if civilians are in danger. Otherwise, this is your show. Great. No pressure then. Naruto created 2 shadow clones and had them hide beneath the wagon, out of sight from the road. Then he pulled out a handful of kunai with wire attached and prepared his chakra threads. When they reached the ambush point, Naruto gave the signal. Taro pulled the wagon to a stop, and Naruto jumped down just as 3 rough-looking men emerged from the trees, weapons drawn. Well, the leader, a scarred man with a short sword, sneered. Looks like easy pickings. Just a fat merchant, a brat, and… He noticed Kakashi. Ah, damn. A jonin. But you look like you don't want any trouble, do ya? I'm just here to watch. Kakashi confirmed, settling against a tree. The boy's in charge of this situation. The bandits laughed. A kid? You're leaving this to a kid? Don't underestimate me, Naruto said, his voice steady. The gamer's mind kept his fear in check while his combat sense tracked the bandits' movements. Last chance to walk away. How about you hand over the goods, and we'll think about letting you live? Naruto sighed. All right. Don't say I didn't warn you. He threw the kunai with chakra threads attached, not at the bandits, but at trees around them. The bandits dodged easily, not understanding the strategy until Naruto pulled the threads taut, creating a web of wires at shin height. Now! Naruto called. His shadow clones burst from under the wagon, using transformation to appear as armed A and BU operatives. The bandits, already off balance from dodging the wire trap, panicked at the sight of what they thought were elite ninja. The leader stumbled backward into Naruto's wire trap, tripping and falling hard. The other two tried to run, but Naruto was already moving, using his enhanced speed to close the distance. A quick enhanced strike to the solar plexus dropped one. The other managed to swing his club, but Naruto substituted with a rock, appearing behind the man to deliver a precise strike to a nerve cluster that paralyzed his arm. The whole encounter lasted less than 30 seconds. Combat encounter complete. Enemies defeated 3. Experience gained, 450 XP. Skill increases, Taijutsu plus 2%, Chakra Thread Manipulation plus 5%, Tactical Thinking plus 3%. Achievement unlocked, First Real Combat. Reward 500 EXP. Title, Blooded. Naruto stood over the groaning bandits, his heart pounding but his mind still eerily calm. He just won his first real fight. Not a spar or training exercise, but actual combat against people who'd wanted to hurt him. Not bad, Kakashi said, still leaning against his tree. You identified the threat early, developed a quick strategy, used misdirection and terrain advantage, and neutralized the targets with minimal force. Good fundamentals. Just fundamentals? Naruto asked. You relied heavily on surprise and your opponent's lack of training. Against actual ninja, those same tactics would have failed. Kakashi pushed off the tree and walked over to examine the subdued bandits. But for your current level, it was well executed. You didn't panic, didn't use excessive force, and protected the civilian. That's what matters. Taro peeked out from behind the wagon, his face pale. Are they? Just unconscious, Naruto assured him. We'll tie them up and drop them at the next town's authorities. The rest of the journey was uneventful. They delivered Taro to his destination village without further incident, rested overnight, and began the return trip to Konoha. Throughout it all, Kakashi observed Naruto carefully, occasionally asking questions about his training methods or testing his knowledge of ninja protocol. On their final night before returning to the village, as they sat around a small campfire, Kakashi finally spoke the words Naruto had been waiting to hear. You'll receive your forehead protector tomorrow, the Jonin said. You've demonstrated adequate skills, good judgment under pressure, and proper conduct on a mission. Congratulations, Naruto. You're going to be a genin. Quest complete, graduation exam special conditions. Rewards, 10,000 EXP, forehead protector, title, genin of Konoha. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. You are now level 19. Special achievement, pass on the second try. Reward, skill book basic medical ninjutsu. Would you like to learn this skill? Yes/no. Naruto selected yes, without hesitation, and knowledge flooded into his mind. The basics of medical chakra control, how to accelerate healing, how to diagnose common injuries, it all slotted into place as if he'd spent months studying under a medical nin. New skill acquired, medical ninjutsu level 1. Something wrong? Kakashi asked, noticing Naruto's momentary distraction. No, sensei. Just taking it all in. A month ago I was the academy failure. Now I'm a genin. It's a lot to process. Well, don't let it go to your head. Being a genin is just the beginning. The real challenges start now. Kakashi pulled out his orange book again. You'll be assigned to a 3-man team tomorrow. Then the real fun begins. Naruto grinned. He couldn't wait. The ceremony was small, just Hiruzen, Irika, and a few other academy instructors. But to Naruto, it felt momentous. When Irika tied the Konoha forehead protector around his head, Naruto had to blink back tears. Congratulations, Naruto, Irika said warmly. I'm proud of you. Thanks, sensei. For believing in me even when I gave you plenty of reasons not to. After the ceremony, Hiruzen called Naruto into his office privately. The Hokage studied him with those penetrating eyes, and Naruto felt the weight of that gaze like a physical thing. You've accomplished something remarkable, Hiruzen said slowly. Transformation of the degree you've shown is unusual. Unprecedented even. Naruto kept his expression neutral, though inside he was nervous. Had the Hokage figured out about the system? I've been watching you, Naruto. More closely than you might realize. Hiruzen tapped ash from his pipe. Your chakra reserves have always been unusually high. I suspect I know why, though that's a conversation for another time. What interests me is how you learned to harness that potential so quickly. Hard work and shadow clones, sir. Yes, the shadow clones. A forbidden technique you somehow discovered on your own. Hiruzen's eyes twinkled with something that might have been amusement. It's fortunate you have the chakra capacity to use it safely. Most ninja would kill themselves training your way. I know my limits, Naruto said carefully. Do you? Hiruzen leaned forward. Naruto, I'm going to be direct with you. Something changed a month ago. Something fundamental. I don't know what it was, and I'm not going to pry. But I want you to understand something very important. The Hokage's expression grew serious. Power attracts attention. The abilities you've developed, the rate at which you've improved, people will notice. Some of those people won't have your best interests at heart. So I'm going to give you some advice. Be careful who you trust. Be careful how much you reveal. And most importantly, remember that being strong isn't enough. You need wisdom to know when to use that strength and when to hold back. Naruto absorbed this, his gamer's mind keeping him focused despite the implications. The Hokage was basically warning him that he'd painted a target on his back. I understand, Hokage-sama. I'll be careful. Good. Hiruzen's expression softened. Now, as for your team assignment, this required some consideration. Normally, genin are grouped by complementary skills and balanced abilities. But your situation is unique. Your skills have surpassed typical genin level in most areas, but you lack practical experience. So I'm placing you with 2 other genin who each have their own exceptional qualities. New quest available, genin team formation. Meet your new teammates and jonin instructor. Reward 1000 EXP, team dynamic skill. Your teammates will be Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. Hiruzen continued. Sasuke is the top graduate of your year, exceptional combat ability and tactical thinking. Sakura has the best chakra control in her class and strong analytical skills. Combined with your unique training methods and high chakra reserves, you should balance each other well. Naruto's mind immediately started analyzing this. Sasuke Uchiha, the last loyal member of his clan, prodigy, and pretty much everyone's favorite. Sakura Haruno, civilian-born, known for being smart and having a crush on Sasuke. And himself, the former dead last who'd somehow catapulted himself to competence through supernatural assistance. This should be interesting, Naruto muttered. Indeed. Your jonin instructor will be Kakashi Hatake. He's already evaluated you during your graduation exam, so he has a baseline understanding of your capabilities. Report to Training Ground 3 tomorrow at 8 a.m. for your final evaluation. Final evaluation? I thought I already graduated. Hiruzen smiled slightly. That was the academy graduation. This is the genin team evaluation. Not all teams pass, Naruto. Kakashi will determine if you, Sasuke, and Sakura work well enough together to function as a unit. If you fail, you'll be sent back to the academy. Quest updated, genin team formation. Pass Kakashi's evaluation. Warning, failure results in return to academy. Estimated difficulty high. Great. Just when Naruto thought he'd cleared the major hurdle, another one appeared. But that was fine. He'd been grinding levels and skills for a month straight. Whatever tests Kakashi had planned, Naruto would pass it. He hoped. That night, Naruto researched his future teammates. The system actually helped with this, adding entries to a new feature it called the Social Link system. Social links. Sasuke Uchiha rival. Level 0 strangers. Affinity unknown. Background last loyal Uchiha. Witnessed clan massacre 3 years ago. Currently driven by revenge against his brother, Itachi. Top academy graduate. Specializes in fire jutsu and Sharingan enhanced combat. Recommended approach, respect his abilities but don't be intimidated. He responds to strength and determination. Sakura Haruno teammate. Level 0 strangers. Affinity unknown. Background, civilian-born. Excellent chakra control and academic scores. Strong interest in Sasuke Uchiha. Often underestimated due to lack of clan backing or special abilities. Recommended approach, acknowledge her skills in areas where she excels. Avoid appearing threatening to her relationship goals with Sasuke. Kakashi Hatake instructor. Level 1, professional acquaintance. Affinity, curious/evaluating. Background, copy ninja. Former ANBU. Student of 4th Hokage Y. Known for failing every genin team assigned to him until they prove worthy. Current record. 0 teams passed out of 15 attempts. Recommended approach, demonstrate teamwork ability above individual skill. Kakashi values cooperation and proper ninja mentality. 0 teams passed out of 15 attempts. Naruto read aloud. That's not encouraging. But it did give him valuable information. Kakashi didn't care about individual excellence, he cared about whether students could work together. That meant whatever test he planned would require coordination between Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Which could be a problem, given that Sasuke was a loner who viewed everyone as beneath him, and Sakura was likely to be distracted by her crush. I need to be the glue that holds this team together, Naruto realized. Which means I can't just rely on my own strength. I need to figure out how to make the 3 of us function as a unit. He created 3 shadow clones and assigned them roles. One would be Sasuke. acting aloof and superior. One would be Sakura, being intelligent but distracted. And one would be himself, trying to coordinate their efforts. For the rest of the night, Naruto practiced team scenarios, having his clones attempt various missions while learning to work together despite their different personalities and priorities. It was exhausting and often frustrating, but by the time the sun rose, he'd gained valuable insights into team dynamics. Skill acquired, Team Coordination Level 1. Increases effectiveness when working with teammates. Provides awareness of allies' positions and status during combat. Morning came too quickly. Naruto arrived at Training Ground 3 at 7:30 a.m., wanting to be early for once. To his surprise, both Sasuke and Sakura were already there, though they were pointedly ignoring each other. Sasuke leaned against a tree, arms crossed, his dark eyes surveying the training ground with calculated disinterest. Everything about his posture screamed superiority and isolation. Sakura sat on a log, fidgeting with her forehead protector and sneaking glances at Sasuke every few seconds. She looked nervous and excited in equal measure. "Morning," Naruto said cheerfully, trying to break the tension. "HN," Sasuke responded, not even looking at him. "Oh, Naruto," Sakura said, her tone suggesting she'd barely noticed him. "You're here too." Social link update Sakura Haruno. Current impression indifferent. You are not Sasuke, therefore barely worth acknowledging. Well, this was off to a great start. Naruto studied his teammates more carefully, using his improved perception, a stat that increased naturally as INT and WIS grew, to analyze them. Sasuke's chakra felt controlled and cold, like a banked fire waiting to explode. Sakura's was surprisingly refined. Her chakra control really was exceptional, even compared to Naruto's current level. "So," Naruto tried again. "Anyone know what Kakashi-sensei's test is going to be?" "If we knew that, it wouldn't be a test," Sasuke said flatly. "I heard he's never passed a single team," Sakura offered nervously. "They all get sent back to the academy. Then we'll just have to be the first team to pass," Naruto said with more confidence than he felt. "We can do this if we work together," Sasuke snorted. "I don't need to work with anyone. I'll pass on my own merits." "That's exactly the kind of thinking that'll get us all sent back," Naruto countered, his gamer's mind keeping frustration from his voice. "Kakashi-sensei doesn't care about individual skill. He wants to see if we can function as a unit. And you know this how?" Sasuke finally looked at him directly. "You're the dead last who barely graduated. What makes you think you understand what a Jonin wants?" Social link update Sasuke Uchiha. Current impression dismissive. Views you as beneath his level. Naruto took a deep breath. Getting defensive would accomplish nothing. "You're right that I struggled at the academy. But I spent the last month training harder than I ever have in my life. I improved because I stopped making excuses and started actually working on my weaknesses. That's what being a ninja is about, isn't it? Constant improvement?" Something flickered in Sasuke's eyes, maybe respect, maybe just acknowledgement that Naruto had made a valid point. Before he could respond, Kakashi appeared in a swirl of leaves. "Yo," the Jonin said casually, as if he hadn't just demonstrated a Shunshin technique. "Sorry I'm late. A black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long route." "You're 4 hours late," Sakura exclaimed. "Am I? Anyway." Kakashi pulled out 2 bells attached to strings. "Your test is simple. You have until noon to take these bells from me. Those who get a bell pass. Those who don't go back to the academy." Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all stared at the bells. 2 bells. 3 students. "But there are only 2 bells," Sakura said. "That means one of you is definitely going back to the academy," Kakashi confirmed cheerfully. "Oh, and you're free to use any technique you know, including lethal force. You won't stand a chance otherwise." Quest updated bell test. Obtain a bell from Kakashi Hatake. Time limit 4 hours. Current objective, survive and cooperate. Hidden objective? That last line was interesting. The system rarely showed hidden objectives unless it was hinting that there was more to a situation than appeared on the surface. "Begin," Kakashi called out. Immediately, Sasuke and Sakura disappeared into the surrounding forest. The smart move, scatter, observe, plan. But Naruto noticed something they apparently hadn't. Kakashi's attention was completely on him. "Not going to hide?" the Jonin asked mildly. "I want to try something first," Naruto said. He formed the hand sign for his shadow clone technique, and 20 copies of himself appeared in a loose circle around Kakashi. "Interesting choice," Kakashi observed. "But quantity isn't the same as quality." The clones attacked in waves, using the coordination that Naruto had practiced all night with his training exercises. They came from different angles, forcing Kakashi to defend in multiple directions. But the Jonin was just too fast, too skilled. He defeated clone after clone with minimal effort, sometimes without even looking at them. But Naruto wasn't trying to win this exchange, he was gathering data. Every time Kakashi moved, every technique he used, every pattern in his defense, Naruto's clones observed and recorded. When the memories integrated after Kakashi dispelled the last clone, Naruto had a comprehensive analysis of the Jonin's fighting style. Skill increase, tactical thinking plus 15%. Opponent analysis, Kakashi Hataki. Threat level, overwhelming. Combat pattern, defensive counter-striker. Waits for opponent to commit, then exploits openings. Chakra reserves, estimated 15,000 plus CP. Recommended strategy, extended engagement with multiple combatants. Force him to expend chakra defending against sustained assault. Naruto retreated into the forest to regroup, finding a hidden spot to create more clones for chakra recovery analysis. That's when he sensed Sasuke nearby, also hiding and observing. Your clones bought me time to analyze his patterns, Sasuke said quietly, dropping from a tree branch. He's toying with us. Yeah, I noticed, Naruto replied. We can't beat him individually. Even working together might not be enough. Then what do you suggest? Naruto considered the situation. 2 bells, 3 students, 1 instructor who never passed a team. The setup was designed to create competition and conflict. But what if that was exactly what they were supposed to overcome? What if the real test isn't about getting the bells? Naruto said slowly. What if it's about whether we work together despite the setup encouraging us to compete? Sasuke's eyes narrowed. You think Kakashi wants to see if we'll cooperate even knowing only 2 can pass? It makes sense. He tests teams, not individuals. Why would he care if we can work together if he's just going to split us up anyway? That's actually logical, Sasuke admitted grudgingly. So what's your plan? We get Sakura, explain our theory, and all 3 of us try to get the bells together. If we fail, at least we fail as a team. Social link update, Sasuke Uchiha. Level 0 Level 1. Current impression, respectful. You've proven you can think strategically. They found Sakura setting traps in the forest, using wire and kunai to create a web of trip lines. She tensed when they approached, clearly expecting betrayal. Relax, Naruto said, raising his hands. We want to work together. Why would you help me? Sakura asked suspiciously. If we all go after the bells together, nobody has an advantage. Exactly, Sasuke said. Which means the test isn't really about the bells. It's about cooperation. Naruto explained their theory, and Sakura's eyes widened with understanding. So if we all work together, we either all pass or all fail, Naruto confirmed. But at least we won't be fighting each other. Sakura hesitated only a moment before nodding. Okay. I'm in. What's the plan? For the next hour, they planned and prepared. Naruto created shadow clones to scout Kakashi's position and movement patterns. Sasuke developed a fire jutsu strategy to limit Kakashi's mobility options. Sakura identified the best locations for ambush points based on the terrain. Their coordination improved with each passing minute as the team coordination skill helped Naruto understand his teammates' thought processes and capabilities. He found himself naturally falling into a leadership role, not because he was the strongest but because he could see how all their abilities fit together. Sasuke, your fire techniques can force him towards Sakura's trap locations, Naruto directed. Sakura, once he's contained, that's when I hit him with a mass clone assault. If we can overwhelm his defenses for even a second, one of us might get a bell. And if this doesn't work? Sasuke asked. Then we tried our best as a team. That has to count for something. They moved into position. Naruto's clones harried Kakashi from multiple directions, keeping him mobile and burning chakra. Sasuke emerged from hiding, launching a great fireball jutsu that forced Kakashi to dodge towards Sakura's trap zone. Wire snapped tight around the Jonin's ankles. And Kakashi substituted with a log, appearing behind Sasuke with his hand glowing with chakra. Chidori, Kakashi said calmly, his lightning-charged palm stopping an inch from Sasuke's back. You're dead. Sasuke froze. Then Sakura screamed, and Kakashi turned to find a kunai pressed against his throat by a Naruto clone that had substituted with Sakura. And you're distracted, Naruto said from his real position, having used the commotion to get close to Kakashi's position. His hand shot out, fingers brushing one of the bells. Kakashi's hand caught his wrist. Nice try. But then Sasuke's hand appeared from the ground where he'd used a substitution of his own, snatching the second bell. And Sakura, having transformed into a rock during the initial exchange, revealed herself and grabbed the first bell from Kakashi's waist while everyone was focused on the other actions. Time seemed to freeze. 3 genin, 3 successful actions, 2 bells obtained. Kakashi looked at the bells in Sasuke and Sakura's hands, then at the 3 students standing before him. A smile crinkled his visible eye. Well, it seems I finally have a team that understands. Understands what? Sakura asked breathlessly. Kakashi held up a 3rd bell that had somehow appeared in his hand. That those who abandon their teammates are worse than trash. The bells were never about passing or failing individually. You okay? Sasuke asked, noticing Naruto had stopped walking. Yeah, Naruto said, dismissing the screens for now. Just thinking about the future. As they continued toward the ramen stand, Naruto Uzumaki, genin of Konohagakure and secret possessor of the gamer system, couldn't help but wonder what challenges awaited him now that the real game was beginning. But whatever came next, he'd face it the same way he'd faced everything else, with determination, creativity, and the unwavering belief that he could overcome any obstacle if he just worked hard enough. After all, he had levels to gain, skills to master, and a whole world to explore. The game was just getting started. Underscore 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 underscore. The first week as Team 7 was interesting. Kakashi seemed determined to test their patience with D-rank missions that felt more like chores than ninja work. Painting fences, pulling weeds, finding lost cats, tasks that made Naruto question whether graduating had actually improved his situation. But the system found ways to make even these mundane activities valuable. Mission complete, retrieve Tora the cat. Rewards 100 EXP, plus 0.3 DX, plus 0.2 tracking skill. Tracking skill discovered level 1. Improves ability to follow trails and locate targets. Every mission added tiny increments to various skills. Painting improved his chakra control through the precise application of enhancement to maintain steady hand movements. Weeding improved his patience and attention to detail. Even the ridiculous chase after Tora, the Fire Lord's wife's demon cat, had improved his agility and tracking abilities. And the party system bonus meant that training alongside Sasuke and Sakura gave everyone additional experience. Naruto could actually see his teammates' basic stats and skill progressions now, though not in the detailed way he saw his own. Party status: Sasuke Uchiha level 18. Primary stats: high DX, high INT, moderate strength. Specializations: Fire Release, Sharingan Combat, Taijutsu. Current focus: revenge-driven training intensity. Sakura Haruno level 15. Primary stats: very high INT, high WIS, moderate chakra control. Specializations: medical knowledge, untrained, genjutsu potential. Current focus: trying to impress Sasuke. The stats were interesting. Sasuke was actually lower level than Naruto despite being the academy's top student, which suggested that the system's level calculations included factors beyond just traditional ninja skills. Naruto's intensive training regimen with shadow clones had catapulted his level far beyond what would be normal. Sakura's stats revealed something Naruto hadn't expected: she had genuine potential for medical ninjutsu and genjutsu, areas she wasn't currently pursuing at all. Her chakra control was actually better than both his and Sasuke's, probably due to her civilian background forcing her to be more precise with limited reserves. Naruto! Sakura called, interrupting his thoughts. They were currently on their 6th D rank of the day, helping an elderly woman move furniture. Can you get the couch? Sasuke and I will handle the chairs. Sure! Naruto lifted the couch with chakra-enhanced strength, making it look effortless. A month ago, he would have struggled. Now it was trivial. Strength check, success. Chakra enhancement plus 0.5%. Sasuke watched this display with narrowed eyes. You've gotten stronger. Training, Naruto said simply. Lots of it. HN. Sasuke's characteristic response. But Naruto could see the gears turning in his teammate's head. The Uchiha was competitive to his core. Seeing Naruto's improvement was pushing him to train harder too. That evening, after they'd completed their missions and submitted their reports, Kakashi finally addressed the elephant in the room. So, the Jonin said, leaning against a tree while they stood in Training Ground 3. I've been watching your performance on these D ranks. You're all competent, work well together, and haven't complained too much about the boring missions. Does that mean we get a real mission? Sakura asked hopefully. Define real, Kakashi replied. Because technically, every mission is real, even the boring ones. But if you're asking whether I think you're ready for something with actual danger. He paused, studying them. Maybe. New quest available. Prove your combat readiness. Demonstrate combat capability against Kakashi Hatake. Reward: C-rank mission, 5,000 EXP. How about this? Kakashi suggested. Tomorrow, meet me here at dawn. We'll have a combat assessment. If you can land a solid hit on me, just one, between all three of you, I'll request a C-rank mission for the team. Just one hit? Sasuke's eyes gleamed with competitive fire. Between all of us? That's right. Use any techniques you want. Work together or individually. Doesn't matter to me. But you have to actually hit me, not just make me dodge. Naruto's mind was already racing with possibilities. A week ago, this would have been impossible. But he'd been grinding levels constantly, even during the D ranks. He was level 22 now, with stats that put him solidly in the Chunin range for some abilities. More importantly, he'd been developing new skill combinations based on the skill tree the system had revealed after the tutorial ended. Skill Evolution Tree. Chakra Control Advanced Chakra Manipulation Chakra Nature Transformation. Shadow Clone Mass Shadow Clone Memory Palace Technique. Taijutsu Specialized Combat Style Ultimate Form. Each skill could evolve through practice and reaching specific proficiency thresholds. Naruto had been focusing on chakra control, pushing it toward the advanced chakra manipulation evolution. But he'd also discovered something the system called skill fusion. By combining related skills at high enough levels, entirely new abilities could emerge. For example, his chakra enhancement and taijutsu skills had fusion potential if he could get both to level 10. We'll be there, Naruto said confidently. And we'll land that hit. That night, Naruto created 20 shadow clones and assigned them specific training tasks. 5 would practice chakra control exercises, pushing toward the advanced manipulation evolution. 5 would work on combining his various jutsu in creative ways. 5 would study Kakashi's fighting patterns from their previous encounters. And 5 would practice pure taijutsu combinations. The original Naruto sat in meditation, directing the clones' efforts while working on his own technique development. He'd been experimenting with something new, trying to apply the chakra thread manipulation he developed for Kunai to his shadow clones themselves. If he could maintain chakra threads connecting him to his clones, he could potentially coordinate their actions with far greater precision than normal. It would be like controlling puppets, except the puppets were solid and could think independently. New skill discovered, Shadow Clone Coordination Level 1. Allows direct mental coordination between original and clones through maintained chakra connections. Warning, high chakra cost. Effectiveness increases with level. Naruto grinned. This was exactly what he needed. With this skill, he could coordinate complex multi-clone strategies that would be impossible with normal shadow clone tactics. For the next several hours, he practiced the technique until the chakra strain forced him to rest. When he finally dispelled all the clones and absorbed their collective training, the experience gain was substantial. Multiple skill increases detected. Chakra Control, Level 6 Level 8, 76% Proficiency. Taijutsu, Level 6 Level 7, 89% Proficiency. Shadow Clone Jutsu, Level 4 Level 5, 45% Proficiency. You have gained 8,400 EXP. Level up. You are now level 23. 5 stat points available. Naruto distributed the points into DX and WIS, the former for better movement coordination, the latter for improved chakra efficiency. Every point mattered when facing someone of Kakashi's caliber. Dawn came cold and gray. Naruto arrived at Training Ground 3 to find Sasuke already there, going through warm-up katas with focused intensity. The Uchiha had clearly been training hard as well. Sakura arrived a few minutes later, looking nervous but determined. So what's the plan? She asked. Same as the bell test, Naruto said. We work together. Pool our abilities and coordinate our attacks. Except this time we actually need to hit him, Sasuke pointed out. Not just get close. I've been working on something, Naruto admitted. A new technique that might help with coordination. But I need both of you to trust me and follow my lead during the fight. Social link check, Sasuke Uchiha Level 2. Success, Sasuke trusts your tactical judgment. Social link check, Sakura Haruno Level 2. Success, Sakura willing to follow your strategy. Fine, Sasuke said. But this better work. Kakashi appeared in his typical shunshin, already reading his orange book. Good morning, everyone. Ready for your assessment? We're ready, Naruto said. Excellent. The rules are simple. You have until noon to land one solid hit on me. I'll be defending only, no counterattacks. But remember, landing a hit on a jonin isn't as easy as it sounds. Kakashi pocketed his book and settled into a ready stance. Begin. Naruto immediately created 15 shadow clones and activated his new shadow clone coordination skill. Chakra threads, invisible to the naked eye, connected him to each clone like puppet strings. Through these connections, he could sense their positions perfectly and coordinate their movements with precision impossible through normal means. Shadow Clone Coordination active. CP consumption, 50/minute. Coordination bonus, plus 25% to clone tactical effectiveness. The clones moved as a coordinated unit, attacking Kakashi from multiple angles with practiced precision. But the Jonin was still too fast, dodging or deflecting each strike with minimal effort. That was fine. The clones weren't meant to hit him, they were meant to map his movement patterns and force him into specific positions. Sasuke, now! Naruto called. Fire release, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Sasuke launched multiple small fireballs from different angles, each one guided to cut off Kakashi's escape routes based on the movement data Naruto's clones had gathered. The Jonin had to use a substitution to escape the flame pattern, appearing on the opposite side of the training ground, where Sakura was waiting with a kunai, having predicted his substitution target based on the terrain analysis they'd done last night. Kakashi dodged the kunai strike easily, but it forced him to move in a specific direction, back toward Naruto's position, where 5 clones were waiting with a prepared strategy. The clones attacked in a precise sequence, each one's strike forcing Kakashi to dodge in a predetermined direction. It was like herding sheep, using the threat of impact to guide the Jonin's movements without actually hitting him. Left, right, back, forward, up. And then Naruto saw it. The opening. A split second where Kakashi's momentum would carry him through a specific point in space, and there was no possible dodge that wouldn't put him in range of an attack. Naruto used the body flicker technique, another skill he'd been grinding, to cross the distance in an instant. His fist, enhanced with chakra and moving with his full level 23 strength behind it, shot forward toward Kakashi's shoulder. The Jonin's eye widened slightly, surprised, maybe, that they'd actually created a genuine opening. His hand came up to block and Naruto's fist passed through empty air as Kakashi substituted with a log at the last possible moment. Close, the Jonin admitted from his new position several yards away. Very close. That was genuine tactics, not luck. But you'll need to be faster than that to catch a Jonin. Naruto grimaced. The chakra drain from maintaining clone coordination plus the body flicker had cost him nearly 400 CP. He couldn't afford too many more attempts like that. But he'd learned something valuable from the exchange. Kakashi's substitution timing, the slight tell before he used the technique, his clones had captured it all through the coordinated observation. Again, Naruto said to his teammates. Same pattern, but faster this time. Sasuke, I need you to use the Great Fireball instead of Phoenix Flower. Sakura, position yourself here. He pointed to a specific spot. When Kakashi substitutes away from the fireball, he'll appear within your strike range. That's when you use the exploding tag. Exploding tag? Sakura looked nervous. But we're not supposed to try to hurt him. He's a Jonin, Sasuke said flatly. He can handle an exploding tag. And Naruto's right, we need to force him to take us seriously or we'll never land a hit. They reset their positions. Naruto's clones moved back into formation, their coordination now even tighter as he fine-tuned the chakra thread connections. The system was actively helping too, showing probability calculations for Kakashi's movement options. Tactical analysis active. Kakashi substitution prediction, 73% accuracy. Recommended attack vector, northwestern quadrant, 2.3 meters elevation. The second attempt went smoother. Naruto's clones pressured Kakashi with improved timing. Sasuke's Great Fireball created a genuine threat that demanded a substitution response. And when Kakashi appeared exactly where Naruto had predicted, Sakura was ready with the exploding tag. The explosion went off, and for a moment Naruto thought they'd actually hit him. But when the smoke cleared, Kakashi stood untouched several feet away, having used another substitution to escape even that attack. Better, Kakashi acknowledged. You're learning my patterns. But I'm also learning yours. It was true. Each attempt taught them about Kakashi's capabilities, but it also revealed their own strategies. The Jonin was analyzing their coordination, looking for weaknesses to exploit. Naruto needed to change the approach. Stop being predictable. Stop using the same clone coordination pattern. An idea formed. What if he could make the coordination itself unpredictable? What if instead of controlling the clones precisely, he gave them semi-autonomous instructions and let them adapt in real time? Shadow Clone Coordination Evolution available. Distributed Tactics allows clones to make independent decisions within strategic parameters. Warning: reduce direct control. Increase strategic flexibility. Evolve skill? Yes/no. Naruto selected yes, and immediately felt the change. His connection to the clones shifted from direct puppet-like control to something more like suggestions. He could provide objectives and parameters, but the clones would determine the exact tactics to achieve those goals. New plan, he told his teammates. I'm going to have my clones pressure Kakashi constantly with unpredictable patterns. Sasuke, Sakura, watch for opportunities and strike when you see them. Don't wait for my signal. Trust your instincts. Team coordination plus 15%. Party members now operating with semi-autonomous tactics. What followed was unlike any combat Naruto had experienced before. His shadow clones, each making independent tactical decisions within the framework of pressure Kakashi and create openings, attacked with creative variations that surprised even Naruto himself. One clone used transformation to become a rock, waiting for Kakashi to step near it before transforming back and attacking. Another coordinated with a clone using substitution to create a double feint that almost worked. 3 clones used their bodies as platforms for other clones to launch from, creating aerial attacks Kakashi had to defend against. The Jonin was still dodging everything, but now he looked focused. Engaged. Like he was actually having to think about his defensive positioning instead of just reacting with overwhelming skill advantage. Sasuke saw an opening and took it, his Sharingan-enhanced reflexes allowing him to strike during a brief moment when Kakashi was committed to dodging 2 clones simultaneously. But the Jonin's hand came up, deflecting Sasuke's kunai with a casual flick. Sakura tried next, using a genjutsu she'd been practicing in secret to create a false image that caused Kakashi to dodge into a real attack. But the Jonin's Sharingan saw through the illusion instantly. They were getting closer, but not close enough. The clock showed 11:30 a.m. 30 minutes left. Naruto's CP was down to 40%. Sasuke was breathing hard from the constant chakra expenditure on fire jutsu and Sharingan use. Sakura looked exhausted from the mental strain of maintaining multiple genjutsu attempts. One more try. They had time for one more serious attempt before they ran out of chakra and stamina completely. Everything we've got, Naruto said to his teammates. All at once. No holding back. He created every remaining shadow clone his chakra would support, 47 of them, which left him with barely 15% CP in reserve. The clones spread out in a massive formation surrounding Kakashi. Sasuke charged his chakra for his strongest fire technique, sweat dripping down his face from the effort. Sakura prepared multiple genjutsu simultaneously, layering them in a way that even if Kakashi saw through them individually, the combined effect might create a momentary distraction. Now! The attack was overwhelming. 47 shadow clones attacking from all directions with unpredictable, independently coordinated tactics. Sasuke's massive fire technique cutting off entire sections of the battlefield. Sakura's layered genjutsu affecting Kakashi's perception of space and movement. The Jonin moved like water, flowing between the attacks with skills that bordered on precognition. But he was contained now, forced into a smaller and smaller defensive space as the attacks converged. Naruto saw it, the perfect moment. The impossible convergence of timing and position where every possible dodge would put Kakashi in range of at least one attack. He activated Body Flicker, burning his last reserves of chakra to cross the distance faster than the eye could follow. His fist, enhanced with every bit of chakra he could channel, shot forward toward Kakashi's center mass. The Jonin's hand moved to block, fast enough that Naruto's enhanced perception could barely track it. But this time, Naruto had planned for the block. At the last instant, he released the chakra enhancement and let his fist go limp, passing under Kakashi's blocking hand like a snake. And then he channeled all his remaining chakra into his palm and thrust it forward, not a punch, but a palm strike to Kakashi's chest. Contact. Hit confirmed. Combat assessment passed. Time seemed to stop. Naruto's palm was pressed against Kakashi's vest, his chakra completely exhausted, his vision starting to gray from the effort. Kakashi looked down at the hand on his chest, then up at Naruto's determined face. A genuine smile crinkled his visible eye. Well done, the Jonin said quietly. That was a real shinobi tactic. Using my own defensive instincts against me. Quest complete, prove your combat readiness. Rewards, C-rank mission unlocked, 5,000 EXP. Achievement, strike a Jonin. Additional reward, 3,000 EXP, title, Giant Killer. Level up. You are now level 24. Naruto's legs gave out, and he collapsed to the ground, completely spent. His shadow clones all dispelled in a mass of smoke, their memories flooding back but lacking the usual disorientation thanks to his gamer's mind skill. Sasuke and Sakura rushed over, both looking exhausted but excited. You did it, Sakura said, amazed. You actually hit him. We did it, Naruto corrected weakly. I couldn't have created that opening without your attacks pressuring him too. HN, Sasuke said, but there was grudging respect in his eyes. Not bad, dead last. Social link Sasuke Uchiha level 2 level 3. Social link, Sakura Haruno Level 2 Level 3. Kakashi helped Naruto to his feet, casual despite having just been struck by a genin. As promised, I'll request a C-rank mission. Expect a summons from the Hokage's office within the week. In the meantime, he pulled out 3 small scrolls and handed one to each of them. These are personalized training recommendations based on what I've observed. Study them, practice what they suggest, and prepare for your first real mission. After Kakashi left, the 3 genin sat in the training ground, too exhausted to move immediately. Naruto opened his scroll and read. Naruto. Your strategic thinking has improved dramatically, but you're too dependent on shadow clones. While they're an effective force multiplier, relying on them exclusively creates predictable patterns. Learn to be effective without them first, then use them to multiply that effectiveness. Focus on developing a specialized taijutsu style that works with your high stamina and chakra enhancement abilities. You're stronger and faster than you realize. Also, start learning about chakra nature transformation. Your massive chakra reserves are wasted if you can't shape them into more advanced techniques. Kakashi. The scroll transformed into a skill book in Naruto's hands. Skill book obtained, Basic Chakra Nature Theory. Learn the skill? Yes/no. Naruto selected. Yes. And knowledge flooded his mind. The 5 basic chakra natures: wind, fire, water, earth, lightning. How to determine one's affinity through chakra paper. The theory of combining shape manipulation and nature transformation to create elemental jutsu. New skill acquired, Chakra Nature Manipulation Level 1. Current known affinities unknown. Quest available, Discover your chakra nature. The week before their C-rank mission was filled with intense preparation. Naruto discovered his primary chakra nature was wine through testing with chakra paper, which opened up an entirely new skill tree in his system. Wind Release skill tree unlocked. Available techniques. Wind Release, Gale Palm, Rank C. Wind Release, Great Breakthrough, Rank C. Wind Release, Vacuum Sphere, Rank B. Wind Release, Raisin Shuriken, Rank S locked. That last one caught Naruto's attention. An S-rank technique already visible in his skill tree? The system showed it as locked with a note. Requirements: Wind Release Mastery, Shape Manipulation Mastery, Chakra Control Level 15+. It was a long-term goal, but having it visible meant it was achievable. The system didn't show impossible objectives. Naruto started with the basics, learning Gale Palm first. The technique involved channeling wind chakra into his palms and releasing it as a compressed burst. It took him 3 days of constant practice, with shadow clones, naturally, to perform it successfully even once. Wind Release, Gale Palm Level 1. Proficiency, 15%. But once he had the basic form down, improvement accelerated. Each use increased proficiency slightly. Each shadow clone that practiced provided cumulative experience. Within the week, he pushed it to level 3 and could use it reliably in combat. Sasuke, meanwhile, had been working on improving his fire techniques and integrating them better with his Sharingan. Sakura had started basic medical ninjutsu training after Naruto mentioned he'd received a skill book for it. If you have such good chakra control, Naruto had pointed out, you'd be perfect for medical techniques. It's not flashy, but it could save our lives on a mission. Social link, Sakura Haruno Level 3 Level 4. Sakura is touched that you recognize her potential beyond just being Sasuke's fangirl. The C-rank mission summons came on the 7th day. Team 7 gathered in the Hokage's office to receive their assignment. Your client is Tazuna, a bridge builder from Wave Country. Hiruzen explained. He requires escort protection during his journey home and while completing his bridge. This is classified as a C-rank mission. Threats are expected to be bandits or minor criminals at most. An elderly man with sake on his breath stepped forward. Yeah, I'm Tazuna. Just need some guards to keep the riffraff away while I finish my bridge. Should be simple enough, right? Quest received, escort mission to Wave Country. Protect Tazuna and ensure the bridge's completion. Estimated duration, 2 to 4 weeks. Warning, client may be withholding information. That last line made Naruto's eyes narrow. The system was usually accurate with its warnings. If it suggested Tazuna wasn't being completely honest about the mission parameters. When do we leave? Kakashi asked. First thing tomorrow morning. Pack for an extended stay away from the village. That night, Naruto prepared more carefully than he had for any previous mission. His equipment loadout was extensive, triple the normal kunai count, extra soldier pills, medical supplies, even some survival gear in case things went sideways. He also created several shadow clones and had them practice combat scenarios against multiple opponents. If the mission really was more dangerous than advertised, he wanted his combat reflexes sharp. Shadow clone training session complete. Multiple skill increases detected. Taijutsu, plus 3%. Chakra enhancement, plus 2%. Wind release, Gale Palm, plus 5%. The journey to Wave Country started uneventfully. They traveled along the main road, with Kakashi reading his book while appearing completely relaxed. But Naruto's danger sense was active, scanning constantly for threats. 3 hours into the journey, the skill activated. Danger sense triggered. Hostile intent detected, 2 sources. Threat level, moderate. Estimated strength, low Chunin. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said quietly. 2 hostiles. Hiding in the puddle ahead. Kakashi's eye flickered toward the small puddle on the road. Odd, considering it hadn't rained in days. Good catch. Everyone stay alert but keep moving. Don't let on that we've noticed. They walked past the puddle. Naruto heard the slight splash as something emerged from it behind them. His enhanced combat sense tracked the threat's movement even without looking. Now! Came a shout. 2 ninja appeared, connected by a chain covered in blades. They moved to wrap the chain around Kakashi, shredding their apparent target into pieces. Sasuke and Sakura gasped in horror, but Naruto had already moved. He'd created 2 shadow clones while the ninja were focused on Kakashi, and had them substituted with nearby rocks to get into position. When the 2 enemy ninja realized they'd only destroyed a substitution, Naruto's clones were already attacking from behind. One clone grabbed the chain while the other used Gale Palm to blast one of the ninja off balance. The real Naruto appeared from a tree branch above, using gravity and chakra enhancement to drive a powerful kick into the off-balanced ninja's shoulder, slamming him into the ground. Sasuke recovered from his shock and engaged the second ninja with fire jutsu and taijutsu, his Sharingan tracking the enemy's movements. Sakura moved to protect Tazuna, kunai drawn. The fight lasted less than a minute. The 2 ninja, identified as the Demon Brothers, Rogue Chunin from Hidden Mist, were subdued and tied up. Combat complete. Enemies defeated, Demon Brothers X2. EXP gained, 2,400. Achievement, First Chunin defeat. Reward 1,000 EXP. Kakashi appeared from wherever he'd been hiding, studying the captured ninja. Poison on their weapons. They were aiming to kill, not capture. His visible eye fixed on Tazuna. These aren't bandits. They're ninja specifically hunting you. Care to explain why a C-rank escort mission involves enemy ninja? Tazuna looked uncomfortable. I may have understated the danger. There's someone who doesn't want my bridge built. A very rich, very powerful someone who's hired ninja to stop me. That changes this from a C-rank to at least B-rank. Kakashi said coldly. We should return to Konoha and reassess the mission parameters. Please. Tazuna dropped to his knees. I couldn't afford a B-rank mission. My country is poor because of the man trying to stop the bridge. Without the bridge, Wave Country stays isolated and under his control. If you abandon me now, I'll probably be killed before I can make it home. Quest update, escort mission to Wave Country. Mission parameters changed. New threat assessment, B rank or higher. Estimated opponent strength, Jonin level possible. Choice required. 1. Return to Konoha, safe, mission failure. 2. Continue mission, dangerous, high rewards. Naruto looked at his teammates. Sasuke's face was set in determination. He wanted the challenge. Sakura looked scared but resolute. And Kakashi was watching them carefully, ready to make the final call but interested in their input. I want to continue, Naruto said. If we leave, Tazuna dies and Wave Country stays oppressed. That's not what ninja are supposed to do. Agreed, Sasuke said immediately. Me too, Sakura added, though her voice trembled slightly. Kakashi studied them for a long moment, then sighed. Against my better judgment, we'll continue. But everyone stays alert from here on out. No wandering off, no dropping your guard. If we encounter a threat I deem too dangerous, we retreat immediately. Understood? Yes, sensei. They continued deeper into Wave Country, the forest growing thicker and the mist heavier. Naruto's danger sense remained on high alert, but nothing immediately threatened them. It wasn't until they reached the boat that would ferry them to Tazuna's island that the next attack came. They were crossing the water, the ferryman navigating through thick mist, when Naruto felt it, a massive hostile presence, far stronger than anything he'd sensed before. Danger sense activated. Hostile intent detected, 1 source. Threat level, extreme. Estimated strength, elite Jonin. Warning, current party may not be able to defeat this opponent. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto whispered urgently. Something's coming. Something strong. Kakashi's demeanor changed instantly. His book vanished, and his hand moved to his forehead protector. Everyone, defensive formation around Tazuna. Now. The mist thickened impossibly, and a voice echoed across the water. Well, The copy ninja Kakashi. This will be more challenging than I expected. A figure materialized from the mist, a tall man with bandages covering his face, carrying a massive sword wrapped in bandages. His hitayate was scratched through, marking him as a rogue ninja. Zabuza Momochi, Kakashi said grimly. One of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. This is way beyond a B-rank threat. Elite opponent detected. Zabuza Momochi. Level, unknown, estimated 45+. Abilities, silent killing, water release master, Kubikuri Bocho wielder. Recommended strategy, survive and retreat. Zabuza's eyes fixed on them. I just need the old man. Hand him over, and the rest of you can leave with your lives. Not happening, Kakashi said, lifting his forehead protector to reveal his Sharingan. But I appreciate the warning to use this right away. What followed was a battle beyond anything the genin had witnessed. Zabuza created a massive water prison technique, trapping Kakashi inside a sphere of water. The Jonin couldn't escape without the technique breaking, but the technique required Zabuza to maintain physical contact with the prison, which meant Zabuza couldn't attack them directly without releasing Kakashi. It was a stalemate, but one that heavily favored Zabuza. He could create water clones to fight them while maintaining the prison, and eventually Kakashi would drown. We need to break that prison, Naruto said to his teammates. Force Zabuza to let Kakashi go. How? Sakura asked. We can't get close to him. Those water clones are too strong. Naruto's mind raced. The system was showing him options, probability trees branching out based on different tactical approaches. Most ended in failure, but one path showed a slim chance of success. Sasuke, Sakura, keep the water clones busy. I have an idea. Naruto created 50 shadow clones, the maximum his chakra would currently support, while maintaining combat effectiveness. But instead of using them to directly attack, he had them spread out across the water surface, forming a massive circle around Zabuza's position. Then he did something the system had suggested might work based on his wind chakra nature. He had all 50 clones simultaneously use Gale Palm, directing the wind attacks inward toward the center of the circle. The combined wind pressure created a vortex effect, the air currents converging on Zabuza's position with enough force to disrupt the water prison technique's stability. Combination technique discovered, wind release, convergence vortex. New skill learned level 1. Zabuza's eyes widened as his water prison began to destabilize. He had a choice: maintain the prison and let the vortex tear it apart, or release it voluntarily to defend against the wind attack. He released it, and Kakashi dropped free, gasping but immediately ready to fight. Nice work, Naruto, Kakashi said. Now leave this to me. That's an order. What followed was an intense Jonin-level battle that the genin could barely track. Kakashi and Zabuza clashed with techniques and tactics far beyond genin comprehension. Water dragons battled lightning techniques. Taijutsu exchanges moved faster than normal eyes could follow. Finally, Kakashi managed to trap Zabuza using his own water clone technique, setting up for a fatal lightning attack. But before he could finish it, Saban needles flew from the mist, striking Zabuza's neck. The rogue ninja collapsed, apparently dead. A figure in a Hunter-Nin mask appeared. Thank you for weakening my target. I've been tracking this rogue ninja for some time. The Hunter-Nin collected Zabuza's body and vanished into the mist. Combat complete. Survived Elite Jonin encounter. EXP gained, 15,000. Achievement, contribute to Jonin battle. Reward, 5,000 EXP, skill book, advanced tactics. Level up. Level up. Level up. You are now level 27. Kakashi collapsed from chakra exhaustion immediately after the Hunter-Nin left. The genin had to carry both him and Tazuna to the bridge builder's house, where a woman named Tsunami took them in. For the next week, while Kakashi recovered, Naruto trained obsessively. The battle with Zabuza had shown him exactly how far he still had to go. An elite Jonin was on an entirely different level from anything he'd faced. But it had also shown him that he could contribute to fights at that level, even if he couldn't win them directly. His convergence vortex technique had been the key to freeing Kakashi. The system agreed, unlocking new training options. Advanced training available. Due to combat experience against elite opponents, accelerated growth period activated. EXP gain increased by 50% for the next 7 days. New skill trees unlocked based on observed combat techniques. Naruto spent every waking hour training. He had shadow clones practice water walking, a chakra control exercise that Kakashi had mentioned before collapsing. He had other clones work on combination wind techniques. He personally trained taijutsu with Sasuke, who was equally motivated after seeing the Jonin level combat. Chakra control, level 8, level 10. Evolution available, advanced chakra manipulation. Accept evolution? Yes/no. Naruto selected. Yes. And his understanding of chakra shifted fundamentally. What had been instinctive became conscious. He could see chakra flow patterns in his mind's eye, could consciously direct and shape his energy with precision he'd never imagined. Advanced Chakra Manipulation Level 1. New capabilities unlocked: Chakra Sensing, Enhanced Control, Nature Affinity Strengthening. Taijutsu, Level 7 Level 9. Approaching Evolution Threshold. Wind Release, Gale Palm, Level 3 Level 6. Shadow Clone Jutsu, Level 5 Level 7. On the 7th day, as predicted by the system, Zabuza returned, this time with his true ally, a boy named Haku who possessed the Kekkei Genkai of Ice Release. The battle that followed would test everything Team 7 had learned. Zabuza engaged Kakashi again, while Haku trapped Sasuke and Naruto inside a dome of ice mirrors. Combat Scenario: Demonic Mirroring Ice Crystals. Opponent: Haku. Level: Estimated 28. Abilities: Ice Release, Extreme Speed, Senbon Mastery. Warning: Current strategy insufficient. Inside the ice dome, Haku moved between mirrors at speeds that seemed impossible to counter. Saban needles flew from every direction, and both Sasuke and Naruto found themselves being overwhelmed despite their recent training. Sasuke's Sharingan activated fully, both Tomo developing in his desperation to track Haku's movements. But even with the Sharingan's predictive capabilities, he couldn't move fast enough to counter. Naruto created shadow clones, but they were dispelled almost instantly by the barrage of Saban. His wind techniques couldn't target Haku's moving position accurately enough. They were losing, and Naruto knew it. The system was showing probability of defeat at over 95% and climbing. Then Haku appeared in front of Sasuke for a fatal strike, and Naruto moved without thinking. His body reacted faster than conscious thought, positioning himself between the attack and his teammate. Critical moment detected. Protective instinct activated. Special skill unlocked: Guardian's Resolve. Effect: massively increased speed and defense when protecting allies. Time seemed to slow. Naruto's hand came up, chakra flooding into it in a way he never managed before. The Senbon struck his palm and stopped. Not deflected. Stopped. Held in place by the precise chakra control he developed. Advanced Chakra Manipulation, Defensive Application discovered. New technique acquired: Chakra Barrier Level 1. Sasuke, Naruto said, his voice eerily calm thanks to Gamer's mind. I'm going to create an opening. When I do, hit him with everything you've got. Naruto created 100 shadow clones simultaneously, more than he'd ever managed at once. The strain was enormous, dropping his CP to 30%, but he didn't care. The clones filled the ice dome, cramming the space so full that Haku couldn't move between mirrors without hitting them. And each clone was actively using Gale Palm, creating turbulent wind currents that disrupted the ice mirror technique's precision. Haku appeared physically in one mirror, forced to take a solid form to deal with the disruption. That's when Sasuke struck with a fire technique enhanced by his fully activated Sharingan. The combined assault shattered several mirrors and forced Haku to retreat from the dome entirely. Ice prison destroyed. Combat advantage gained. Outside the dome, the battle between Kakashi and Zabuza had reached a critical point. Zabuza was about to strike a fatal blow when Haku intervened, taking the attack meant for his master. Naruto watched Haku fall, the young boy's last words about protecting someone precious, and felt something shift inside him. Emotional revelation detected. Will of Fire comprehension increased. New skill acquired: Ninja Way Level 1. Effect: increases all stats when fighting for beliefs or protecting others. Zabuza, weakened and grieving, fought on until he was surrounded by hired thugs from the merchant Gato, the real villain behind everything. With his arms disabled by Kakashi's lightning technique, Zabuza couldn't fight back effectively. Naruto looked at the scene, a broken ninja being used and discarded by a greedy businessman. His hand moved to his kunai pouch. Naruto, Kakashi warned. Don't. But Naruto wasn't planning violence. Instead, he threw the kunai to Zabuza's feet. You can still fight for what mattered to Haku. Don't let these thugs dishonor his sacrifice. Social interaction: Zabuza Momochi. Appeal to shared values: success. Zabuza looked at the kunai, then at Naruto, and something like respect flickered in his eyes. He picked up the blade with his teeth and launched himself at Gato in a final, desperate attack. The battle ended with Gato dead, Zabuza dying from his wounds, and Team 7 victorious but sobered by the cost. Major quest complete: escort mission to Wave Country. Rewards: 50,000 EXP, reputation increase, title, Bridge Guardian. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. You are now level 32. Achievement: survive first major mission. Achievement: protect teammate from fatal attack. Achievement: change enemy's heart. Total bonus rewards, 20,000 EXP, 3 skill books, special item, Zabuza's will. As they left Wave Country 2 weeks later, after the bridge's completion and Tazuna's tearful naming of it, the Great Naruto Bridge, the team was fundamentally changed. Sasuke had awakened his Sharingan fully, 2 tomo in each eye. Sakura had discovered her talent for medical ninjutsu through treating the wounded after the battle. And Naruto. Status update. Name Naruto Uzumaki. Level 32. Title, Bridge Guardian, Team Player, Giant Killer. HP 4 200/4 200. CP 8 500/8 500. Strength 28.4. Vit 42.1. Dex 31.7. Int 28.3. Wiz 25.8. Luck 4.2. Skills selected. Shadow Clone Jutsu level 8. Advanced Chakra Manipulation level 3. Taijutsu level 9, approaching evolution. Wind Release, Gale Palm level 7. Chakra Barrier level 2. Guardian's Resolve level 2. Ninja Way level 1. Naruto Uzumaki, level 32 genin with abilities approaching low jonin level, was ready for whatever challenges came next. And according to the system's latest notification, those challenges were coming soon. New dungeon discovered, Chunin exams. Estimated difficulty high. Recommended level, 25 to 35. Rewards, rank advancement, reputation, special abilities. Time until availability, 2 months. The Chunin exams. A chance to prove himself on a larger stage, against opponents from other villages. Naruto grinned at the thought. Let them come. He'd be ready. The game was far from over. In fact, it was just getting interesting. The 2 months before the Chunin exams passed in a whirlwind of training and missions. Team 7 took on a steady stream of C-rank assignments, each one adding to their experience and coordination. The Wave Country mission had fundamentally changed their dynamic. No longer were they just 3 genin forced to work together. They were a real team. Naruto's training intensified beyond what most would consider sane. Every morning started at 4 a.m. with 100 shadow clones practicing different skills simultaneously. Your chakra flow keeps stuttering. I know. I'm working on it. HN. Sasuke pulled out a scroll. Kakashi-sensei left this for you. Said it might help with chakra control. Naruto opened the scroll to find detailed instructions for an advanced exercise, leaf concentration. Unlike the basic leaf sticking drill, this involved balancing a leaf on running water using only chakra, requiring incredibly precise control to account for the water's movement. Training exercise received, leaf concentration. Recommended for advanced chakra manipulation improvement. Accept exercise? Yes/no. Of course. Naruto muttered, selecting yes. Another notification appeared. New quest, Master Leaf Concentration. Reward, Advanced Chakra Manipulation plus 2 levels, 5,000 EXP. Time limit, before Chunin exams. That afternoon, while Naruto struggled to keep a leaf balanced on the surface of a stream, Kakashi appeared with news. The Chunin exams start in 6 weeks. The Jonin announced. I'm recommending all 3 of you to participate. Sakura looked up from her medical studies, surprised. Already? We've only been genin for 3 months. 3 months of intense field experience. Kakashi corrected. You've survived combat against elite Jonin-level opponents, completed a mission that should have been far beyond your rank, and demonstrated teamwork that many genin never develop. You're ready. Quest updated, Chunin exams. Time until start 6 weeks. Current recommended level, 30+. Your level, 32. Party members Sasuke, level 25, Sakura, level 22. Naruto noticed something interesting in that update. His teammates had levels now, visible through the party system. Sasuke was lower level than Naruto despite being the genius, which confirmed that the system's leveling didn't directly correlate to traditional ninja rankings. It made sense when he thought about it. Sasuke had natural talent and clan techniques, but Naruto had been grinding experience obsessively through shadow clone training. Quantity had its own quality. There's something else. Kakashi continued. The exams will be held here in Konoha this year. That means we'll be hosting genin from all the major villages. Sound, sand, rain, grass, waterfall, everyone wants their rookies to participate. Why? Sakura asked. Politics. The Chunin exams are as much about village reputation as individual advancement. How well your genin perform reflects on the village's training standards and military strength. Kakashi's visible eye turned serious. Which means some of the participants won't be playing fair. Expect sabotage, underhanded tactics, and opponents who'll do anything to advance. Warning, Chunin exams difficulty increased. Hostile participants confirmed. Recommendation, increase party levels before start. We'll be ready, Sasuke said confidently. See that you are. Use the next 6 weeks well. I've arranged advanced training for each of you based on your specializations. Kakashi handed them each a schedule. Naruto, you'll be working with me on wind release techniques and that spiral sphere you've been developing. Sasuke, you're training with several Uchiha specialized Jonin to develop your Sharingan abilities. Sakura, you'll continue medical training but also work on Genjutsu with Kurenai Yuhi. Naruto scanned his training schedule and grinned. 6 weeks of intensive Jonin level instruction plus his shadow clone training? He probably gained 10 levels just from the preparation. The next morning, Naruto's real training began. Kakashi took him to a secluded training ground and immediately started with fundamentals. Before we work on that sphere technique, you need to understand wind chakra at a deeper level. Create a shadow clone. Naruto complied, and Kakashi handed each of them a special piece of paper. This is chakra paper, but modified to show not just your nature but how well you're channeling it. Focus wind chakra into the paper and try to cut it completely in half. Seemed simple enough. Naruto channeled his wind chakra, and the paper crinkled slightly. Wind release proficiency, insufficient. Current control, 23%. Required for clean cut, 60%. Not even close, Kakashi observed. Your wind chakra is there, but it's unfocused. Diffused. Wind release is the sharpest of the 5 basic natures. It should cut, not crinkle. Let's work on concentration. For the next week, Naruto did nothing but try to cut chakra paper while his shadow clones handled other training aspects. It was frustrating, tedious work. The paper would tear slightly, or cut part way, or crinkle more dramatically, but never achieve the clean cut Kakashi demonstrated effortlessly. Wind release control, 23%, 31%. Wind release control, 31%, 38%. Wind release control, 38%, 44%. On day 8, something clicked. Naruto's understanding of wind chakra shifted from theoretical to instinctive. Instead of forcing the chakra outward, he let it flow naturally and then shaped it at the last moment. A quick, precise compression that turned diffused energy into a cutting edge. The paper split cleanly down the middle. Wind release control, 44%, 67%. Breakthrough achieved. Wind release, Gale Palm level 7, level 9. New technique available, wind release, blade. Kakashi nodded in approval. Good. Now maintain that level of control while moving, while fighting, while tired and injured and desperate. That's when real mastery shows. The training evolved. Kakashi would attack with low-level techniques while Naruto tried to cut paper. Then he'd be running while cutting paper. Then doing it with his eyes closed, relying only on chakra sense. Wind release control, 67%, 75%. Advanced chakra manipulation, level 3, level 5. Chakra sensing unlocked level 1. That last one was significant. Chakra sensing allowed Naruto to detect other people's chakra signatures at a distance, similar to his danger sense but more precise and without requiring hostile intent. You're progressing faster than expected, Kakashi admitted during their 3rd week. Most genin take months to achieve this level of chakra control. Your shadow clone method really is effective. It helps that the system. I mean that I can measure my progress precisely. Naruto caught himself. He'd been careful not to mention the gamer system explicitly, but sometimes he slipped. Kakashi's eye narrowed slightly. System? Just my personal tracking method. I keep detailed notes on my training results and percentages. Not technically a lie. Well, whatever your method, it works. Let's move on to your spiral sphere technique. Show me what you've got. Naruto formed the rotating sphere of wind chakra in his palm. It lasted 5 seconds now before destabilizing, and the rotation was visible as a slight distortion in the air. Wind release, spiraling sphere proficiency, 56%. Stability. Improved. Recommended, add compression layer. Kakashi studied the technique with his Sharingan active. Interesting. You're rotating the chakra but not compressing it enough. The sphere needs to be dense to maintain stability. He paused. This reminds me of something the 4th Hokage developed. He called it the Rasengan, a spinning sphere of pure chakra with no nature transformation. Skill information updated. Technique origin discovered, Rasengan, 4th Hokage. Current technique, incomplete wind variant. Recommended path, master basic Rasengan first, then add wind nature. Can you teach me the Rasengan? Naruto asked eagerly. I never mastered it myself, Kakashi admitted. The 4th Hokage created it but died before he could pass on his technique widely. What I can do is help you understand the principles and let you develop your own version. They worked on rotation and compression separately. Naruto would create a sphere of pure chakra and practice maintaining its shape. Then he'd add rotation. Then compression. Each element on its own was manageable, but combining all three pushed his chakra control to its limits. New skill, Rasengan, incomplete, level 1. Current proficiency, 12%. Warning, requires both hands to maintain. Goal, one-handed execution. Don't rush it, Kakashi advised. The fourth Hokage spent 3 years perfecting the Rasengan. You don't need to master it in 6 weeks. But Naruto had an advantage the fourth Hokage hadn't: shadow clones that could train 24 hours a day. While he slept, clones practiced rotation control. While he ate, clones worked on compression ratios. Every moment of every day, somewhere, a Naruto clone was grinding Rasengan proficiency. Rasengan proficiency, 12%, 23%, 34%, 47%. Warning, mental strain from excessive clone memory absorption. Recommended, reduce training intensity. Naruto ignored the warning. The Chunin exams were in 3 weeks, and he wanted a trump card technique ready. Sasuke's training was progressing similarly well. The Uchiha had learned several new fire techniques and was developing his Sharingan's predictive abilities. Naruto could see it in their sparring sessions. Sasuke was faster, more precise, harder to surprise. Party member update: Sasuke Uchiha. Level 25-29. New abilities: Fire Release, Dragon Flame, Sharingan, Prediction Level 2. Sakura's growth was less visible but no less significant. She'd mastered basic medical ninjutsu and could now heal minor wounds and diagnose injuries accurately. Her genjutsu training with Kurenai had unlocked an unexpected talent. Party member update: Sakura Haruno. Level 22-26. New abilities: Mystical Palm Technique Basic, Genjutsu, Tree Binding Death. 2 weeks before the exams, Team 7 was called to a joint training session to test their coordination against other genin teams. They faced Team Guy, Rock Lee, Niji Hyuga, and Tenten. The match was meant to be friendly but competitive, giving everyone experience against different fighting styles before the exams. Lee came at Naruto first, his taijutsu speed shocking even with Naruto's enhanced perception. The boy moved like a green blur, his kicks and punches creating wind pressure. Opponent analysis: Rock Lee. Level 27. Specialization: Pure Taijutsu. Threat assessment: high. Recommended strategy: range combat. But Naruto didn't retreat to range. Instead, he met Lee's taijutsu head-on, his own level 9 taijutsu skill finally getting a real workout against a specialist. The clash was intense. Lee's speed was incredible, but Naruto's enhanced stats and combat sense allowed him to keep up. When Lee's kick came too fast to dodge, Naruto used his chakra barrier technique to deflect it. When Naruto tried to counter with chakra-enhanced strikes, Lee's pure speed let him evade. Taijutsu proficiency increasing. Combat against specialists, bonus EXP. Taijutsu, 89%, 93%, 97%. Approaching evolution threshold. They broke apart, both breathing hard but grinning. "You're good!" Lee exclaimed, his eyes shining with competitive fire. "I haven't had such a youthful taijutsu exchange in months." "You're better," Naruto admitted honestly. "Your pure taijutsu is way beyond mine. Then let us continue to push each other to greater heights." Lee dropped into a fighting stance. "I shall show you my primary lotus." Lee moved faster than before, so fast that even Naruto's enhanced perception could barely track him. The green-clad genin appeared behind Naruto, wrapped him in bandages, and they began to spin upward. Special technique detected: primary lotus. Warning: high damage potential. Countermeasure required. In midair, spinning toward what would be a bone-crushing impact, Naruto did the only thing he could think of. He substituted with a shadow clone that he'd created at the start of the match and hidden underground using transformation. Lee drove the clone into the ground with devastating force, destroying it instantly. The real Naruto emerged from his hiding spot, impressed and slightly shaken. "That would have really hurt," he said. "Indeed. The primary lotus is my secret technique." Lee gave a thumbs up despite his obvious exhaustion from opening his chakra gates. "But you defended well." Meanwhile, Sasuke was facing Niji, Sharingan against Byakugan. The two Jujutsu users circled each other with calculated precision. "You cannot defeat me," Niji stated calmly. "My Byakugan sees all. Your Sharingan's copy techniques are meaningless against perfect defense." "We'll see about that." Sasuke launched into a combination attack, fire jutsu mixed with taijutsu strikes, each one precisely aimed to exploit openings his Sharingan predicted. But Niji's gentle fist style deflected every attack, his Byakugan tracking Sasuke's chakra points and allowing him to shut down techniques before they fully formed. Party member combat data, Sasuke vs Neji. Stalemate predicted. Recommendation, support required. Sakura faced Tenten in a weapons vs medical need matchup. Tenten's weapon scrolls unleashed a barrage of kunai, shuriken, and other projectiles. Sakura dodged what she could and used her improved chakra control to deflect the rest while looking for an opening to close distance. When she found it, Sakura used a genjutsu she'd learned from Kurenai, making Tenten think she was surrounded by clones. The real Sakura approached from the blind spot and landed a chakra-enhanced punch that left a small crater in the ground. Party member achievement, Sakura Haruno. Successful genjutsu application in combat. Combat effectiveness increased. Gai-sensei called an end to the match before anyone could get seriously hurt. Both teams were breathing hard, impressed by each other's abilities. Excellent work, everyone! Gai declared, his teeth gleaming in the sunlight. This is exactly the kind of youthful determination you'll need for the Chunin exams. After the teams separated, Kakashi pulled Team 7 aside. That was informative. Lee's pure taijutsu exposed some weaknesses in your defense, Naruto. Niji's Byakugan showed that your fire techniques are too predictable, Sasuke. And Sakura, you're still hesitating before committing to attacks. He wasn't wrong. The system had logged all the weaknesses for Naruto to review later. 1 week until the exams, Kakashi continued. Use it wisely. And remember, the Chunin exams aren't just about individual strength. They test intelligence, teamwork, and decision-making under pressure. Don't lose sight of that. The final week was spent in intense preparation. Naruto finally achieved the breakthrough he'd been working toward. Rasengan proficiency, 97% 100%. Rasengan mastered level 5. Technique now requires only one hand. Evolution available, add wind nature. But when he tried to add wind chakra to the completed Rasengan, the technique destabilized completely, exploding in his hand with enough force to send him flying backward. Wind release, Rasen Shuriken. Current stability 0%. Warning, technique causes self-damage in current form. Not recommended for combat use. Don't force it, Kakashi advised after healing Naruto's scorched hand. The Rasengan itself is an A-rank technique. Adding nature transformation would make it S-rank. That's not something most people can do, let alone a genin. I'll figure it out eventually, Naruto said stubbornly. Probably. But focus on what you can use reliably for now. The Rasengan without nature transformation is still a devastating technique. Taijutsu, 97% 100%. Taijutsu mastered. Evolution available, specialized combat style. Select specialization. 1. Speed focused, enhanced mobility and strike frequency. 2. Power focused, devastating single strikes. 3. Adaptive, balanced approach with situation-based optimization. Naruto selected adaptive. He'd learned from fighting Lee that pure specialization created weaknesses. Better to have versatility. Taijutsu evolution complete. New skill, adaptive combat style level 1. Effect, automatically adjusts fighting style based on opponent analysis. Bonus, plus 15% to all physical combat effectiveness. The day of the Chunin exams arrived with perfect weather, clear skies that felt almost mocking given the tension in the air. Naruto arrived at the academy building to find it packed with genin from across the ninja world. His chakra sensing picked up hundreds of signatures, each one unique. Some felt weak, barely above civilian levels. Others blazed with power that made him cautious. One signature in particular stood out, cold, malevolent, and hiding something that felt wrong. Chakra sense alert. Unusual signature detected. Recommended, avoid confrontation. Naruto filed that away and focused on finding his teammates. They'd agreed to meet near the entrance, but the crowd made it difficult. Naruto! Sakura's voice cut through the noise. She and Sasuke were waiting near the stairs, both looking ready but nervous. Let's do this, Naruto said, feeling his own excitement building. The system showed his stats one more time before they entered. Current status. Level 38. HP 6 800/6 800. CP 14 200/14 200. Primary skills, Rasengan, Level 5, Adaptive Combat Style, Level 1, Advanced Chakra Manipulation, Level 7, Wind Release, Gale Palm, Level 10. They climbed to the 3rd floor where the first exam would be held. A crowd of genin had gathered outside a door marked 301. But something felt off about it. Naruto activated his chakra sensing and immediately spotted the deception. That's a genjutsu. The real room is 1 floor up. How do you know? Sakura whispered. Trust me. Let's go. They bypassed the fake room and the two Chunin guarding it, who were clearly testing if Genin could recognize the illusion, and found the real room 301 on the 4th floor. Minor quest complete, identify the genjutsu. Reward 500 EXP, plus 1 reputation with exam proctors. Inside, they found seats in a large classroom. The proctor, a scarred Chunin named Ibiki Marino, explained the rules. A written test. 10 questions. Teams would start with 10 points and lose points for each wrong answer. If any team member's score reached 0, the entire team failed. Oh, and cheating was encouraged, as long as you didn't get caught. Getting caught 5 times meant automatic failure. First exam, intelligence gathering. Objective, obtain correct answers without being detected. Recommended approach, use information gathering skills. Naruto looked at the test questions and nearly laughed. They were way beyond genin level, cryptography, advanced tactics, probability mathematics. These weren't meant to be answered through knowledge alone. They were meant to test information gathering ability. He created a tiny clone, barely larger than an insect, and had it transform into a speck of dust. The clone drifted through the room until it landed near a plant where a disguised Chunin was observing. The Chunin had a completed answer sheet visible on his desk, all the correct answers. The clone memorized them and dispelled, transferring the knowledge back to Naruto. Information gathered, all correct answers obtained. Stealth check, success. Proctors detected 0 out of 5 attempts. Naruto filled in his answers and then pretended to struggle for the rest of the test period to avoid suspicion. Around him, other genin were using various techniques: mirror clones, insect reconnaissance, Byakugan observation, even possession jutsu. Those who were too obvious got caught. Those who were subtle succeeded. The final question was the real test. Ibiki announced that participants could choose to take the 10th question or quit now. Those who quit would fail but could try again next year. Those who took the question and got it wrong would be permanently barred from ever becoming Chunin. It was a bluff, obviously. They couldn't actually enforce such a rule. But the psychological pressure was real. Hands started going up across the room as genin chose to quit rather than risk permanent failure. Naruto raised his hand. Several people gasped, thinking he was quitting. I have something to say, he announced loudly. Whatever the 10th question is, bring it on. I'm not afraid of some test, and I'm not backing down. That's my ninja way. Social interaction, demonstrate determination. Effect, morale boost to allies, intimidation to enemies. Multiple participants inspired, fewer teams quit. Ibiki smiled slightly. Well said. In that case, everyone who's still here passes the first exam. There is no 10th question. The test was whether you'd let fear control your decisions. First exam complete. Team 7 passed. Reward 3000 EXP, advancement to second exam. The second exam was held in the Forest of Death, a massive training ground filled with dangerous wildlife and environmental hazards. The proctor, Anko Mitarashi, explained the rules with barely contained enthusiasm. Each team would receive either a heaven or earth scroll. The objective was to obtain the opposite scroll and reach the tower in the center within 5 days. Teams could use any means necessary, including taking scrolls from other teams. Second exam, survival and retrieval. Objective, obtain both scrolls, reach central tower. Time limit 5 days. Estimated teams participating, 78. Estimated pass rate, 30%. Team 7 received an Earth Scroll. They'd need to find a team with a Heaven Scroll and take it from them. Strategy? Sasuke asked as they entered the forest through Gate 12. Move fast toward the center but stay alert for ambushes. Naruto suggested. Teams will be either hunting or hiding. We want to encounter the hunters since they'll be carrying scrolls they've already collected. They moved through the forest with practiced coordination. Naruto's chakra sensing detected other teams, but most were too far away or moving in different directions. 3 hours in, they encountered their first challenge, not another team, but a massive snake that emerged from the underbrush. Creature encounter, Forest Anaconda. Level 25. Threat moderate. The snake was huge, easily 30 feet long, with scales that deflected their initial kunai throws. It struck at Sasuke with frightening speed, but the Uchiha dodged using his Sharingan-enhanced reflexes. Naruto created shadow clones to distract the creature while he prepared a Rasengan. When the snake's attention was divided, he struck its side with the spiraling sphere of chakra. The effect was devastating. The Rasengan drilled into the snake's flesh, creating a wound that made the creature retreat rapidly into the forest. Combat complete. Experience gained, 1,200. That technique of yours is impressive. Sasuke admitted. What is it? Something I've been working on. I call it Rasengan. Naruto didn't mention it was based on the 4th Hokage's technique. Still developing it, but it works for now. They continued deeper into the forest. Naruto's danger sense activated suddenly, and he threw himself sideways just as a volley of kunai tore through the space where he'd been standing. 3 sound ninja appeared from the trees: Dosu, Zaku, and Kin. Their grass village headbands were a thin disguise. Hostile team encountered. Sound ninja team. Estimated levels: 24, 26, 25. Objective: possess Heaven Scroll. Well, Dosu said, his voice distorted by the device covering half his face. Team 7 from Konoha. How fortunate. We'll be taking your scroll. You can try. Sasuke replied coldly, his Sharingan spinning to life. The battle began fast and brutal. Saki used sound-based attacks through tubes in his arms, creating pressure waves that shattered trees. Kin used genjutsu layered with Saban. Dosu's device generated sound waves that disrupted balance and concentration. Sakura dispelled Kin's genjutsu and engaged her directly, medical knowledge allowing her to target precise chakra points. Sasuke faced Zaku, his fire techniques creating thermal currents that disrupted the sound waves. And Naruto took on Dosu. Adaptive combat style activated. Analyzing opponent. Weakness identified, sound device on arm. Naruto's new adaptive style gave him insights into Dosu's fighting pattern. The sound device needed a moment to charge between attacks. During those moments, Dosu's defense dropped. Naruto created clones to pressure Dosu constantly, never giving him time to charge a full power attack. When the sound ninja tried to use his device anyway, Naruto was ready with a perfectly timed wind-release blade that severed the device's control wires. Dosu's eyes widened in shock as his signature technique became useless. You. Sorry, Naruto said, delivering a chakra-enhanced strike that sent Dosu crashing through 2 trees. But you picked the wrong team to ambush. Enemy defeated DOSU. Sasuke had overwhelmed Zaku with a combination of Sharingan prediction and fire techniques. Sakura had actually defeated Kin through a clever genjutsu reversal that Kurenai had taught her. Combat complete. Team victory. Experience gained, 4,500. Heaven Scroll obtained. They now had both scrolls with 4.5 days remaining. The smart move would be to head straight for the tower and wait out the remaining time in safety. But as they moved toward the center, Naruto's danger sense activated with an intensity he'd never felt before. Danger sense, extreme level. Hostile presence detected. Threat assessment, overwhelming. Recommended action, flee immediately. A figure appeared in their path, a woman with pale skin and yellow serpent eyes. She smiled at them with too many teeth. My. What talented young genin. Perhaps I should test you myself. Elite opponent detected Orochimaru. Level? Threat level, beyond current party capability. Survival probability, 3%. Naruto's blood ran cold. This was the cold chakra signature he'd sensed earlier, the one that felt wrong. And now it was directly in their path, looking at them like a snake eyeing mice. This was bad. This was really, really bad. And the Chunin exams had only just begun.